Howdy, yokes, and welcome back to Bacon and Eggs! I'm Tyler Carlin.
I'm Ethan Edgehill.
And I'm Seamus Gorman.
And we're coming to you from your childhood.
We've got a special treat for you again this week.
The second of 3 special treats.
So make some delicious hot schmoes.
And use your head!
And ride like the wind, bullseye.
Because today we're bringing you...
Toy Story 2. The second one.
So Toy
Seamus?
Story 2 was released on the 24th of November 1999, 6,896 days ago. It had a $90 million budget, made $497.4 worldwide, and has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes and 88 on Metacritic. Was that not my line?
$497.4 million.
Well, did I get it wrong?
You just said $497.4.
Yeah, close enough, wasn't it?
It made $497.40.
That would be a severe flop.
Really not sure why they made us another sequel.
Right. Well reviewed, but...
Seamus, great to have you back again.
It is great. It's almost
for the
like
yokes, it's
yesterday.
been a whole week. Yeah, for us, it's been less than 24 hours.
And it's
Not
also...
quite, just over 24 hours, like 25 hours.
Well,
Yeah, and...
since we started, but it's been less than 24 since we
true.
spoke.
And also to us, to the yokes, to the us, to the yokes, it's been like a month's time.
Yeah, this is coming out...
A month from today.
Yep.
How? So the 11th
November
of November
8th.
release date?
No,
No.
the November 8th.
Oh.
It's
So
4
20
weeks.
28
4 weeks
days.
from today.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, Seamus, good to have you back for another Toy Story. How do you feel about this one? Is it
This
what's the
one
binary?
is better than the original. I would say a binary of 1.
Binary
I
of
would agree.
1. Tyler, do you have a professional positive review for me?
I think my one yesterday was very similar to this one, but this comes from David Starrett at the Christian Science Monitor, who I love reading their reviews. I think they're very good. He says, it's playtime for viewers of all ages.
I think that was the exact review you read yesterday.
But it wasn't the same
review
person.
both the films on the same day and was like, I'm going to be uncreative today.
Right.
And give them the exact same review.
So I have a negative review from Twitter because I had to turn to Twitter this time to find a negative review. At RonnieClock12 on May 31st of this year said, "F me then. Toy Story 2 was okay at best. Don't come at me again like that, peasant."
So you couldn't find a negative review, and the best thing you could find was okay at best.
Yep.
It's just not okay
Don't
at best.
come at me like that again, peasant.
Toy Story 1 was
I want
amazing.
to tell you though, that review was not added at anybody. That was not directed at anybody. That was a loose tweet.
That's weird.
Yeah.
How direct.
He's subtweeting somebody over something very specific.
So I searched Toy Story 2 hate, and the first thing that came up, Seamus, was one of your tweets.
No way. What?
It said, "What's gonna happen if I hate Toy Story 4? Everyone's gonna hate me."
That is true. I
From,
don't
like,
think I
over
will
a year
hate
ago.
it, but I remember tweeting that. No, I
But
think
don't like it, or whatever you said. The word hate was used somewhere.
Yeah, I think it was something like that. No, it would be very effective on my brand if I didn't like Toy Story 4. I won't deny that, but I'm not going to pretend to like it just because I've liked the other. Like, if I genuinely don't like it, I'll say I didn't like it. Like,
That is such a refreshing attitude to take about Disney things.
like, there are so many people on YouTube that like aren't honest about stuff. Like, and I get it's kind of hard to be negative about stuff. Like, Disney have like provided me with getting to meet like creators of The Incredibles, and they've invited me to like see like a pre-screening of Wreck-It Ralph 2, and it's kind of like, can I even talk negatively about it? But like, I'm not gonna change my opinions just because.
I mean, there's a solid chance that before Toy Story 4 comes out, they will hit you with a contract that says, no, you're not allowed to be
maybe.
negative about it.
that would be awkward, but I would sign it.
Yeah, they'll be like, okay, you can be negative about it, but if you burn the DVD, I swear to God.
We will send the Disney police after you.
Is this going to
It's
be
not going to be
me
fun.
burning a DVD of Toy Story 4 in every episode? Because this was brought up in the last episode.
Well, Seamus, that's your brand.
Burning DVDs.
Lighting things on fire.
I don't know
that
how
you
this
don't
is
like.
my brand. It happened once.
I mean, that's the
doesn't
kind of
take
thing, though, that
much.
you can do it one time, and that's what people are going to remember you
Yeah,
for.
it is what people. Yeah.
I remember you for being a genuinely nice human being in the District of Columbia when we hung out over the summer.
That was a really good time.
And then before that, I remembered you as the guy that lit a book on fire.
Well, we should do that hangout thing again. That was fun.
We definitely should.
You should just move here.
It's a big commitment to make.
Yes. The United States is so much better than England.
Is it?
We have real football.
Dude.
Ooh.
I heard you
Figured
say in one of your recent podcasts that you agreed the name football for American football was a bad name.
Yeah, that's what it's called, though.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know what else we would call it. I don't know what else they could have called it back then, and I'm pretty sure that was the discussion they had. It was like, what are we going to call this? Well, you kick it sometimes, so we're going to call it football.
Fair enough. I don't really have anything against people calling it football. I'm not like a lot of Brits or Europeans or South America or anyone who doesn't like it. I
pretentious Americans.
I don't really care. It's just as long as you can understand what someone's talking about, why be pedantic about it?
Right.
But it is
that's my thing.
Yeah, it's like I made a video where I referred to what you call soccer as football, and there were so many people who like commented, like someone said I cringed inwardly every time he called that football, and then he wrote hashtag America, and I was like, could you find a more American comment than that? Probably not.
Here's my thing behind it, though. Anybody that calls it football is obviously talking about the sport that you're mentioning.
Yeah.
Anybody that says, go watch me some football is
exactly.
talking about the other one.
Exactly.
Like, it's very clear.
Yeah,
Right. I think getting upset about it in like when you're actually speaking to somebody and you can hear their accent and their voice and their inflection and everything is absolutely ridiculous. Like, I think what it comes down to is it's a word that has multiple meanings that are pretty similar but at the same time like wildly different. Like, they're both sports. It's not like when we say football we're referring to water heaters, and when you say football you're referring to sports. They're both sports, but there's never been a time where I've been talking to an English person and I haven't known which version of the sport they were talking about.
Exactly. I actually have an interesting story about this word. The first time I learnt it, because I'd always only ever heard what you call soccer to be referred to as football, right? And I was about 7, and to that day I didn't know what American football was, because I'd never seen it before. I'd never heard it before. I wouldn't have had that much knowledge of America, really. I might not have even had that much knowledge of other countries in the world, because I was 7. But
right.
I don't know how smart I was, but I remember I got a present. This was when I was too young to have a PlayStation, and my parents hadn't bought me a PlayStation yet, and someone gave me like this console for my birthday, but it was like a console where it was just like one game in the console, and you plugged it into your TV and you had a remote that was like connected to it and you played it. And I remember it just had all these sports on it, and you could you pick the sport and played it. And I remember like at that age I was first getting into football, and I remember there was a section on the game called football, and I was like really excited. I clicked on that one, and then I was really confused because it wasn't football to me, and I didn't know what was going on, and it was like this weird. I eventually learned how to play it, and it was like how to play American football. That's how I learned the rules of the game. And then I remember like I grew out of it, and then about 3 years later we threw it out, and then like that day I remember thinking like I never played actual football on that game, because I only played that I don't know why. I still didn't know why it was called football. Then like a few months after that, after we threw it out, I realized I came to terms with American football, realized the game was American, and realized there probably was a football section on the game called soccer, but never actually played it because I didn't know that's what it was called. So the moral of the story is, if you're confused about something and you're young, you should ask your parents, and they'd probably show you what you were looking for. And
I will say though, like if I go to my father right now and I say, Dad, can you explain the rules of cricket? He's gonna say no.
But I didn't need the explaining of the rules of American football. I just needed someone to tell me that in America they call football soccer, and that I was on the wrong game mode.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, no one in the whole world can explain the rules of cricket.
I can.
Bull.
Yeah, I've played cricket
It
before.
is the most complicated Wikipedia page I've ever looked at in my life.
Is it? You bowl a ball, and an overarm bounces once, someone hits it. If they get to the boundary and it bounces or just it touches the ground, you get a 4. If it doesn't bounce, you get a 6. If you hit it and then they stop it before it gets to the boundary, you get runs by running towards the wicket and back and forth, and you can calculate runs. And if you hit the wicket, you get out, and you've got 11 batsmen, you get 10 wickets, you're all out, and you calculate runs, and then you have innings, and it's basically baseball but in India.
What on earth did you just say?
No, seriously,
I summarized cricket very quickly.
Go look at n.wikipedia.org/wiki/cricket.
Okay.
It may as well be in a different language.
Cricket. I'm just gonna type it in. I've known cricket as a kid, because that's one of the main sports here. So.
All right, I mean, if you grow up playing it, or even if you play video games for it, that's the best way to learn the rules of the game. Obviously, you could figure out the rules for soccer playing FIFA for 5 minutes.
Wait, so where do we need to go to the rules?
No, just the normal page.
Yeah, it's like 3
It
paragraphs.
makes no sense.
There are different game modes of cricket, though. I didn't even summarize that. There's 2020, which is 20.
Oh, I know.
And...
Trust me. I spent 5 hours one time just reading about cricket.
No, it's a very boring sport to watch if you're watching like a 5-day test match just and you sit and watch it on your TV. But if you go out to a cricket game for a day, I think you'd have a good day out.
I'm sure. I mean, I love sports.
Yeah.
I can get into any sport. And if they made a cricket video game, I promise you I could figure it out within 10 minutes.
They do. It's stick cricket.
I'm sure they do.
I have
It's
it on
not
my phone.
available in the US.
I sometimes play it when I'm on the plane.
Oh, there's a cricket game for your phone?
Yeah, stick cricket.
Done. Downloading it.
Yeah, I'll download
Stick
that. That
cricket
sounds like
2
fun.
even is better. And I think it goes through the basics. Oh, well, there we go. I just got 2 downloads of stick cricket right here.
There you go. Do you have a referral code?
Sorry?
Do you have a referral code?
No, I don't. Seamus 10, you get 10% off.
It's free.
10% off free.
If you want to get 10% off the bonus gifts inside the game. I don't know.
Yeah,
Ad-free.
so on the side of the whole football versus soccer thing, we're ignoring who we should be really mad at, which is the Australians.
Why are we mad at the Australians? They call it
Because they
footy?
invented their own version of football.
Yeah, they did. It's very similar to the Irish version of football as well. Yeah, Ireland have their own version of football too.
So does Canada.
Oh, well, I see. The Irish
Right,
and
but, like,
the Australian...
Canadian-
Australia has Aussie rules and Ireland has
Right.
Gaelic football. And every couple years, or at least, I don't know if it's still done now, because my dad watches Gaelic football because he's Irish. And they have this like Australia versus Ireland, Gaelic football versus Aussie rules with like a combination of the two sports against each other. I don't know how often they do it, but it's happened before. I've watched it before.
But they have soccer, they have rugby, and they have that.
Yeah.
And they'll call all 3 of them football.
And Australians also don't have, you know how like we have the whole, you call it chips, we call it crisps, we call it chips, you call it fries.
I mean, Australians have a different word for everything
Australians
else.
call them all chips.
Yep.
They call it chips and hot chip. Apparently, that's what people told me on my video.
Yep.
So they're the real
That's so
problem makers
weird.
here.
Yeah, I mean,
Anyway-
Australia, they're just criminals, right?
Canadian football is 99% the same as American football. There's just more yards and some other differences, mostly to make it fit better on a soccer
I
field.
thought Canadians just liked ice hockey or just
They do.
hockey.
They're huge fans.
Eventually, they figured out that when it's nice outside, you should go outside and play sports.
gets nice
and it's
outside.
hard to play hockey when it's nice outside because even in Canada, sometimes the lakes aren't frozen.
Oh wow.
It's like they had to have something to do for those 3 days in August.
See, we don't. It doesn't get cold enough. I don't like. We have hockey, but it's played on a AstroTurf, not AstroTurf. It's played on it might be AstroTurf, like kind of pit. But
Yeah, we have
we
that
don't
too.
have, like, many
We're better
up-
than
yeah.
you at it, and we call it field hockey.
yeah, I knew that. I had this conversation with Derek and Isaac when I was in Derek's car in America. It isn't that big here, to be honest.
Now, you look at an actual Canadian. This is how you piss off a Canadian. Surefire. Look at them straight in the eyes when they're talking about hockey, and you go, "Oh, wait, are you talking about ice hockey?"
Oh, yeah, that messes them up every time.
Why would that?
They'll just shut off like a robot.
What about? I really like Tim Hortons though.
Which is, I've never been to a Tim Hortons. Timmy Ho-Ho's.
They've got one in Belfast.
never been to a Tim Hortons.
So yeah.
However, hockey is another great example of us being better than Canadians at the thing they invented.
What
We're also
about-
better than the rest of the world at women's soccer.
Yeah, I don't get that. Why is America so good at women's soccer, but they're not good at men's soccer?
Our female athletes.
No, we are good
for
at men's soccer. We're just not as good as the rest of the world because the rest of the world prioritizes it differently than we do.
Right. Well, we also can't pay our male soccer players very much. But like female soccer players in the States, unless you get a like commercial with Wheaties, you're making like 25 grand a year, which is not very much money.
No.
But like, you're not really better off playing for like one of the Premier League's women's teams.
Yeah, well,
They also make no money. So like, a lot of people aren't gonna. Whereas most great soccer players that come out of America are gonna go play like Tim Howard went and played in Everton for all those years. Like they're gonna go play in the Premier League.
yeah, he played for Man
So
United.
the MLS
as well.
is terrible, yeah. But yeah, I mean, we don't prioritize women's soccer as much as people think we should in the States, but we do prioritize it more than most countries.
It's a pretty big deal. I don't know about like the rest of the country, but as far as like high school sports go, like women's soccer was a pretty big deal, and it was for our college too.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, it is. It definitely like collegiate, like scholastically, it is, and that's the problem. Is there's such a big disparity between the men's and the women's teams in professional leagues, but there's not in collegiate leagues. Like they're treated equally,
Right.
And like some schools will be really good at women's and not really good at men's, and they get the the reputation for the women's teams. The same with basketball. I mean, the WNBA is probably a little bit better off than the women's soccer league, but whatever it is, the UNSL or whatever it is, but not much.
no.
I don't know. I think we could reasonably get a loan to buy a women's soccer team. We could not buy a women's basketball team.
Well, it's just been around longer and it's more established.
Right.
And I mean, it has the NBA to feed off of more than whatever the women's soccer league is called. I cannot remember the name of it.
But I just think
UNWSL.
I just think sports are run very differently in America. Like, I don't know if you watch BuzzFeed Unsolved,
No.
the YouTube
I
channel.
don't watch anything
No,
BuzzFeed
neither do
puts
I.
out.
But this BuzzFeed Unsolved is like the one thing that's kind of like personality driven. It's two guys that just make stuff where they like go like do unsolved things. It's like the most unBuzzFeed one of their channels. It's actually good. They've started doing sport conspiracies, and there's the whole thing about how Michael Jordan kind of just quit basketball for a bit and then came back. And it's like, because apparently there was like the whole thing of like it wasn't good for the brand because there was something about him. And it's just like even like Donald Trump made comments about how the NFL had like less views than normal or something.
Which is like just false, by the way.
But I wait, like you'd never hear anyone make a comment about the viewership in the Premier League or the Champions League in football here ever. I've never heard anyone make a comment about. You might hear like a record viewership. Like I remember like England's semi-final in the World Cup was like record viewership in England ever for a game. But like other than that, you literally never hear anything about.
We have competing most popular sports though. Like we have baseball, basketball, and football.
And in some cities, some markets, we have hockey as well. That is, and soccer. It just depends on where you're at. Because like in Seattle, you know, if the Seahawks aren't doing well, like the Sounders are, the Seattle fans will just go to Sounders games. Like there will be more people in the stadium, there'll be more people watching on TV, and like we spend a lot. Our TV isn't like our TV is all privatized.
Yeah, I think ours is too. I don't pay TV bills, but
well, except the BBC.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but yeah, you'd have to pay fair. Like yeah.
So it's all privatized. So it's all about money and contracts, and 90% of like 90% of the people that go to the game or the people who watch the game are watching it on TV, as opposed to because you'll have games that are viewed by 2-3 million people. And there's only 65,000 people there.
I just feel I never hear mentions of like a sport success. It's like not even something I'd ever really considered. Like that a sport could literally just go out of fashion and can completely die off.
Oh yeah, it definitely happens.
It could happen, yeah. But
it's
like,
gone
it's
in cycles forever.
I've ever really heard of, and I never even thought of it. And then, but Americans, I don't know. I don't know what I was really trying to say, but
we are like Toy Story 2, guys.
Yeah, we've just spoken about sports ball for
sports.
I think we just need to have Seamus on for a brunch where we talk about soccer.
Yeah, we should. I would be very, very willing.
I have this Liverpool bracelet right here.
Jesus.
It says "You never walk alone."
No.
I have a Liverpool bracelet somewhere.
I thought you were a Chelsea fan, Ethan.
I am a Chelsea fan. I actually grabbed my Chelsea
I'm going
scarf
to a Chelsea game on Saturday week.
Out of storage. It's like one of my life's dreams to go to a game at Stamford Bridge.
I'm going to one on Saturday week, 20th of October.
I'm very excited for you.
Yeah, it's against Man United, so like.
Oh, I want to go. Can I come?
I have my friend's dad's season ticket because he can't go, but you'd find it very hard to get a ticket. But yeah, if you come all the way to London, I'll get you into the ground.
Oh, that's the other thing. That's what I wanted to point out about American sports versus English sports and soccer in the UK. Just one quick little fact left, and then we'll talk about Toy Story. All of our teams are good.
Okay.
Like there's in the Premier League less so than like Spain, where like Spain has Real Madrid and Barcelona, and occasionally like Atletico will make a run. Or
Sevilla are top of the
Valencia will
league
make
right
a
now,
run. Sevilla,
but the truth is about American football, the Cleveland Browns could beat any other country's national team.
Well, not even that, but it's like the Cleveland Browns could win any day. It's like, yeah, some teams don't really do well consistently, but it's usually only for a couple years at a time, and like
I agree. I spoke to my dad about this once before. In England, the same team win every year. Like Premier League had a big shock in 2016 when Leicester City won the Premier League.
Yeah,
and they were
5,000
to 1 to win the league. So you put a pound,
normally
you get
it's like
£5,000. It was like biggest shock I think maybe the biggest shock in sporting history.
Right, and you can make a safe bet every year that either Man United or Chelsea or Man City or Arsenal or Liverpool are going to win the league.
Liverpool have never won the league.
They haven't?
No.
Oh well, they're always good. They're always good.
They're always there or thereabouts. They've never won the Premier League. They've won the First Division.
Yeah, but you can kind of predict how the table's going to turn out.
100%. Yeah.
Whereas like last year, the Super Bowl was won by the Eagles with a second string quarterback playing
against the greatest team of all time.
Is that Tom Brady's Patriots?
Yeah.
That's all. That's what I know when it comes to American football. Tom Brady and the Patriots. That's it.
Are you a fan of an American football team?
I would say if there's a team I'd be a fan of, it would be the Virginia Hokies.
That'd college
Hokies.
football.
Yeah. That's the only team I have any association with because
that is college football.
To their games.
We do go to their games. They're a lot of fun.
They are a lot of fun.
And they wear orange, which is the color of bacon and egg.
Yes.
It is. It is. But actually, our colors at blue and orange are the color of the Virginia Tech Hokies rival, but whatever.
But yeah, so that's the big difference there, and that's what I'd forgotten is like every team's fans have something to hope for. It's not like we're sitting here, West Ham fans are just like, well, maybe next year we'll finish 17th.
Maybe next year we'll finish. They almost call it a league inside the league. There's a top six really good teams, and then there's the team who wins the league outside the league finishes 7th.
You could not pay me to tell you who's going to win the Super Bowl right now. This NFL season's been insane already.
Tyler was really excited by it, from what I've heard.
That's weird because neither of his teams are doing very well.
You have 2 teams,
No,
Tyler.
they're not. I do. I like the Washington Redskins and the New England Patriots.
My team's also doing terrible. Stephen A. Smith the other day said that we're wasting the best year of Aaron Rodgers' career, and he's not wrong. But that's a whole different topic. Let's talk about Toy Story.
Yeah, so
We'll get you on for a sports brush.
I like
Seamus.
this
This
film.
conversation's been great. But yes, I also like this film.
it's again great soundtrack. This is what I'm going to start with again. The animation's better this time.
Yes,
Significantly.
The animation is
They
much,
stepped it
much
up
better.
I don't know how they stepped it up so much in 4 years, but they did. My favorite scene is the "When Somebody Loved Me" scene, which I think
Yeah, same.
it's become
Oh
like
my
a
God.
theme now for the Toy Story films. Like they showed Jesse's backstory. They did the same thing with Lotso in Toy Story 3. There'll be another character they do like that in Toy Story 4 because I think that's just a known formula that works. I don't know if they'll put a sad song behind the backstory in Toy Story 4 or they'll do it like Lotso where Chuckles is narrating. But it's the first film is like about Buzz coming to terms with the fact he's a toy and that getting played with isn't that bad. And this film's now about Woody, who convinced him being a toy is the greatest thing ever and getting played with is the greatest thing ever, realizing that won't last forever and that he can last forever. It's a real interest. It just takes Woody's character arc in a completely different direction, and again he comes of age as a character, realizes what's important, and again I think everyone says the Toy Story films are all about Andy growing up with the toys, and that's why the third one was the last one, and this is why so many people are against Toy Story 4 is because this was like the story of Andy growing up with these toys and growing out of them, and that's why it finished so nicely with Toy Story 3. That's why I disagree with people, because I think this is Woody's story of him like learning to come to terms with not necessarily being the favorite toy, learning to come to terms with that actually being played with is the best thing ever, and then Toy Story 3 you learned that not staying with your original owner isn't the worst thing ever. I don't know, kind of. I didn't really think that through. I prefer having a script to read off, but
So there's sort of something that happens where you can watch Jesse's character go from Emily to Storage to Andy, and then you watch Woody goes sort of through the same arc where he goes from Andy to the clubhouse or whatever, the after school service, whatever it is,
Sunnyside Daycare.
to Sunnyside Daycare, that's what it is, to the new girl,
Bonnie.
right? So it's a similar arc where he learns from Jesse that it's like the daycare seems like it's the perfect solution because there's a gazillion kids and they're always going to want to play with you, but they're like destructive children.
Yeah.
And
They're little monsters.
They're too young.
well, and they don't value the toys because they're not theirs.
Yeah. Oh, I've never even thought of it from that perspective, but yeah, that's completely true.
Yeah. But on Toy Story 2, I think this movie is a complete masterpiece because it does so well literally mirror the first film, where it's about, it's got the scene in the first film where Woody explains to Buzz that he's a toy. The second film, Buzz explains to Woody, you are a toy.
I love that. I think they create the core group as well. In the first one, there was the kind of a mix-up of like who the main characters were and who weren't. In this group, they really set in stone it. Buzz, Slinky, Rex, Mr. Potato Head, Ham, and
Woody.
And Woody, I guess, but they're the ones that go to look for him.
Woody,
And-
Jesse, and Bullseye.
yeah. And I think they're the core group, and I think they're so well done because they have such contrasting personalities. I did a video once where I sorted them into houses. I think they're all like get every single different Hogwarts house in that group. Like you've got Ham and Mr. Potato Head would probably be Slytherins, maybe a Ravenclaw in there. Slinky, who's gonna be like a Hufflepuff, Buzz, who's gonna be a Gryffindor, and Rex, who'd be probably a Hufflepuff as well. And you've just got that range of personalities, and I think they just contrast and just work as a group so well. And that's why I think they got rid of every other toy in Toy Story 3 so they could have that core group to focus on.
Yeah, I agree.
That was very well said.
Was it?
What are your thoughts, Ethan? Do you have some overarching thoughts or
I mean, you guys said it. Like, if there was anything wrong with the first one, they corrected it in this one and added to it.
Yeah.
Because it does have new, interesting, and dynamic characters added, as well as giving development to the stories we already had.
Again, there's the one bit of thing that is a little unrealistic in this film. Like, you've got the whole Buzz being able to fly thing, and this one, you've got Bullseye being able to run at the speed of a plane taking off. But
Yeah,
again,
like 200 miles an hour.
But
we were talking about that earlier, where it's like Buzz can't fly because like the physics wouldn't work, but like Bullseye running as fast as a plane Like, why not?
Yeah, I
Who
guess.
sets the speed on these things?
I guess the plane's going very slowly though. If you actually do the maths behind it, like, because they like go from going very fast to stopping in like
Right, but-
5 seconds.
Yeah, then the plane takes
Right.
off.
Yeah.
But the plane takes off like right after they get off of it.
Yeah, and then
The plane's got to be
stop
going
5
a certain
seconds
speed to
later.
take
Yeah,
off.
Yeah, but it does, again, it's not something many people are thinking about when they're watching it. It's just like the climactic scene. This is the first film that has a toy villain of Stinky Pete, who I think's a good character.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's,
I agree.
he's great. Well written, very well acted by Kelsey Grammer. Excellent, excellent villain.
And I think that's one thing Toy Story have done very well. Sid's kind of a villain. Yeah, he is a villain in the first one. And then since then they've made the toys the villains because I think they've realized that toy-to-toy conflict is better than toy-to-human conflict.
Right.
I don't know if that... the toy-to-toy conflict kind of revolves around stuff that's happened to humans, and that's what works so well with the films. The whole events of the films reflected on what's happened with the toys and the humans, right? Like, Andy gets Buzz, and Woody gets jealous. Like, it's all to do with what's happening with the character. You know what I'm trying to say, I hope.
Yeah. No, I absolutely know what you're talking about, yes.
And I think the only Toy Story villain who's better than Stinky Pete is Lotso, who's better. I think, yeah, if we kind of got a backstory for Stinky Pete that no one ever bought him, and this was like his chance to...
I thought it was concise. I thought it was effective.
I think you could relate to him as a character.
Right. I mean, sure, you probably know all about being like unwanted and...
Yeah, I don't know what...
I'm totally messing with
I
you.
don't know what... I didn't really get the joke you're making there.
It was, it's that self-deprecating humor. Seamus,
Do I do a lot of self-deprecating humor?
No, I guess it's really Seamus deprecating humor. I'm not self-deprecating.
I didn't think I did that much self-deprecating. I just thought I kind of...
No.
I used to do it a lot more. Then I was like, yeah, my humor changes over time, and I'm always just going to make jokes that I think are funny.
I appreciate that. I hope you continue to do that.
I actually thought of a really funny meme today. I didn't make it, but maybe I'll make it before before this goes out, so I get to Well, anyway, you know that meme of that guy with the girl and he's looking at the other girl, where he's like with the girl like with his arm around her shoulder and he's looking at another girl and she's like looking at him like what? I was watching through like YouTubers' old videos. I don't know why I was doing this. Just old videos started popping up in my timelines of YouTubers, and all of you have YouTubers that just their content changes so much over time. Like even PewDiePie, for example, like was like this big shouting YouTuber, loud and everything, and now he's just much more mature and everything. And in all these videos of these old YouTubers, you find comments saying like, "I miss this PewDiePie," or "I miss this KSI," for example. And it's like, and then everyone's like, "Why doesn't he make videos like this anymore?" And they always say, and you always get replies, and you think people are going to be smart in the replies and say he's just grown up, like he's just a more mature person, his humor's evolved, and he's not going to be making videos like that anymore. But always they're like, he's just a sellout. He's making videos that get more views, that make more money now. But like, it's so wrong. And I was thinking of making this meme where it was like your fans, and then it says, "I've grown up" on one of the people. And it's like, "I miss the old Shame," or "I miss the old so-and-so." I don't know if that made any sense, but if...
I'm following.
Kind of. If I have made the meme, maybe people will have seen it by the time this goes out, and they will know what I mean. Maybe I'll make it, but... Yeah, so
All I know is like to people who are like, "Oh, he's just a sellout," all these things. Like on some level, or for some people, the point of uploading content is to get more people to see it.
Yeah.
Is to like make it better and get more people to see it so that you can make more money, because that's how work works. That's how capitalism works.
Isn't that what Casey Neistat said? Like, being a sellout is just the first step to becoming an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know if he said that, but I believe him saying that.
He said something like that.
I love Casey Neistat.
Yeah,
Are you a fan?
Do. I don't really watch him that much, but I'm subscribed to him. I respect him for what he does and all that. Yeah.
I haven't watched in a few weeks. No. Ethan, did you die over there?
Yeah,
I mean, you guys are just having a conversation. I don't have anything to add to the world of Casey Neistat, other than that I don't entirely agree with the selling out thing. There's a certain level
I agree.
Where selling out means sacrificing your integrity, and a lot of people do that, and that's the problem.
Well, I have,
and that's where the hate for selling out
not
comes.
Been paid to make a video. I haven't done a sponsored video. Like, I haven't been paid cash
would you?
To do a video. I would if I genuinely believed in the product, I used the product and genuinely wanted to promote it. It'd be something that I would promote for free. I would do an advert.
Promote for money.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't see myself promoting something. Like, I couldn't see myself promoting something I don't use. Because that is exactly what I just. And I very rarely use things things that are advertised by YouTubers. They have the obvious ones, like you've got like the Squarespace, the Audible. I don't actually use any of those products. I probably shouldn't say that live in case they ever want to use me, but if I ever do start using them. But I currently don't use any of those products, and I don't know, seeing them on adverts doesn't make me want to use them, even if the YouTuber does use them themselves. I'd only promote something if I genuinely used it.
I would say that, like, for me personally, when I first heard about Audible, I was extremely skeptical about how it worked. And then as soon as I saw a creator that I trusted promote the product, I was much more likely to download it and use it, and I've used it since then.
No, I know a lot of people use it. I don't use it. I don't read all that much. I read, but I don't. I usually prefer to buy the books.
I mean, that's fine too. You're completely allowed to just buy books. Like, we're not hating on that here at all.
Well, I don't know if you were making a joke about the book burning or.
I was just saying you're allowed to read. By all means, read a book. But like, for sure, I understand. And the fact of the matter is, some people aren't affected by ads, some people are, and that's why they run ads, is to get the people that are going to listen to the ad listen to the ad.
I guess it's ironic I say I wouldn't promote products I don't believe in when I literally just let ads run on my videos and I have no idea and have no control over what they are, but still.
I know, you've been showing ads for the Venom movie.
Have I?
I mean, I'm sure you have. That's every ad I see is for Venom. Yeah. So I'm sure they...
I think, Tyler, you've been showing yourself ads for the Venom movie. Seamus is getting paid for it.
I always hear like people say like, I got an ad for Hogwarts Mystery on this video, or I got an ad for a play for this video, and I'm like, oh really? They're sponsoring on my videos.
Yeah, so, and that's the big difference between YouTube videos and podcasts, is we don't have that infrastructure.
It would be cool if we did.
If we want to run an ad, like, and an ad company wants to work with us, and this is a lot of times why the ads in podcasts can be more valuable, is like, I gotta sit here and be like, hey, go to our audible.com link and sign up with Audible and we'll get money for it. Like, I have to say that with my own voice.
Yeah.
It's not just
that supports the show. Like, you could go to audibletrial.com/eggs and sign up for a free 30 days and a book on us.
Exactly.
Oh, is that...
But we the podcast, like, if somebody goes to listen to the podcast, it's not just like, today's episode of Bacon and Eggs is brought to you by Venom. And we have no control over that. It's like
Venom.
It's like, there's not that infrastructure there at all. It'd be cool if there was, but it just doesn't exist.
But unlike a lot of YouTubers, I've never had a problem with demonetization. Like, I don't know why YouTube...
That seems shocking.
YouTube just love me. I don't know why. But like, literally, like every YouTuber I mean, like, I don't know, like the yellow demonetization symbol was just such a big meme in like 2017. It was just everywhere. Like, because I don't know if you know, there's like, you get the green demonetization symbol if it's eligible. Yellow is suitable for some advertisers, which basically means you get no ads, but you get like a couple ads, like one maybe every 1,000 videos, maybe views or something, but like it's absolutely nothing, so you'd make absolutely nothing off it. And then there's not available for monetization, and I've literally never had a problem with it, but like almost every other YouTuber I speak to get problems with it, and they suffer and I don't.
Fair. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. We're not quite to the monetization point yet as this video is being made.
But if you're listening to this episode and you want to go subscribe to Bacon and Eggs on YouTube,
how many
subscribe to
subscribers away are you from to be eligible for monetization on YouTube?
I am checking right now. I don't know how that works.
You have to be at 1,000 subscribers and have 4,000 hours of watch.
Oh, our watch time is well over that.
No, it's not. You keep saying this, and it's just not.
Really?
Yeah, it's close. It's not well over. It's not there yet.
So it's 4,000 in a year. So
we have 732 subscribers, so we need like
739.
268.
Yeah.
739.
How do I look at that?
That's shooting up. You probably gained more subscribers than me today. I lose subscribers every time I upload a vlog.
We have gained 1 subscriber today, as far as I can tell.
I'm gonna
maybe
check
2.
I don't really check my subscriber count since I've started vlogging because it goes down a lot now, and I just avoid it. I know I've gained 28 today, but like back a while ago, I was like getting like 400 a day. But I just decided I want to start making vlog
content you want to make.
Yeah. Well, it's not as if I don't want to make the content I was making. I was just like, yo, I really want to do this. I want to try this out, and I'm gonna lose subscribers, but I don't care. So I don't really look. But
so we have 739 subscribers. We need 1,000, and we have 3,124 watch hours.
Lovely.
In the past year.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so yeah, if you want to be one of the 200 261 people we need to subscribe. Go for it.
Yeah, I should just promote it in a video. Just you link your channel.
You should totally do that, Seamus.
Yeah, and then you'll be there in no time. They need 261 subscribers to be eligible for monetization. They literally never post. They will not spam your sub box. Don't worry. But
I mean, we post once a week.
Yeah, that's nothing really, is it?
Yeah.
Like, if someone's gonna complain
once we get to a certain amount of Patreon dollars, we will start making more YouTube content.
Awesome. What kind of content?
No idea.
No idea. Maybe we'll do like 3 to 4 minute film reviews with us just sitting in one of our chairs with a ring light, just chatting to the camera.
Will you do? Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So it just
maybe we'll start making gaming videos.
Maybe you'll start making theories.
I don't think we can attack theories.
Okay.
We're not. I don't think we're like I would feel guilty putting my name in that hat and putting myself in competition with you and Super Carlin Brothers. Not that I think that I'm going to take anything from you and Super Carlin Brothers, but I just think it would be unethical.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. It's interesting to hear from you.
I'm just not great at theories.
No, I have a interesting conundrum with that whole theory, John. It's like there's that competition. There's quite a few people who do the exact same thing as me, and I don't know if this is true, but I feel like I'm one of the only people that genuinely gets along with everyone who does it. Like I don't know Matt Pat personally. I know he does.
If you do, can I get his number?
I've only heard things about him from people. No, I was saying about like knowing the people in the theory community. Like I know like some people. I know Whatso Videos, Isaac. The Theorizer. Again, I don't know Matt Pat, but like I know like most of the people in that like scenario, like even people that I know like a lot of people don't know, and I just feel like I've just kind of got this like almost like if someone's approached me and does similar content to me, I'm kind of just like I'm gonna be nice to them. I've got nothing against anyone because I think there's so much more to be gained from making friends than making enemies. Like calling people out and criticizing people for doing similar content to you. But there is that slight problem of I have this ongoing fear when I'm writing a video. What if someone comes up with this and uploads it a day before me, and I'm just like, what do I do now?
Well, I mean, that's all of like journalism, right?
I guess.
Is that like somebody's gonna scoop this story before you? That's why like deadline is a thing. That like you need to work fast so that this new product is out as fast as possible. That's why it's called news.
My big fear was like the Nagini video, for example. I was kind of like really nervous that someone's gonna get there first, and when I uploaded it, I realized that someone with like 800 subscribers dropped a video with basically the same title as me. Fortunately, he came to a very different conclusion, but the guy with 800 subscribers had like 100,000 views on his video when I uploaded. So like
Oh, wow.
He took off. I've forgotten his name. It's Kevin something. And I saw his video. I preferred my video personally. I think I can say that.
Obviously.
I think I can say that. I was just kind of like, I think I've got more views than him now, but I haven't really checked. But it was just kind of like, I would have been annoyed if when I was just starting out and then some big YouTuber comes out with the same video as me. And I was glad I came up to a very different solution because like you need to like kind of check around and stuff. Yeah, there is that fear like with The Incredibles 2 coming out on DVD in like a few days. Comes out 2 weeks earlier in America on DVD than it does in the UK. And I'm going to be like, for those 2 weeks, I'm literally just going to be like, hurry up, because
I need the videos. Jonathan and Ben were telling me the other day that they have videos planned for Incredibles 2 that they can't edit. Do you really?
Yes. And I'm going to film them before it comes out on DVD. I'm trying to work out a way to get The Incredibles 2 on digital with the American release date. Like,
I don't know how to help you. If I could help you,
I genuinely
would.
am trying to work out a way. Because like, usually I just get a DVD and import it onto my computer using the DVD file. But it comes out on digital first. So I'm like seeing if I can like access the American iTunes store, but it doesn't work with my IP address. I really don't know what to do, but...
you can set up a dummy IP address.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of doing, but feels very dodgy, especially if we talking about this public thing.
It is dodgy, but only because it's a stupid law. Like,
yeah,
it's a dumb rule.
But if I can get the footage on time, now I've got 6 videos I want to make. I've got them all written down. I'm gonna script them and film them so quickly that I can have them use the clips to edit them on the day the DVD comes out. Like I can't.
Are you gonna drop 6 videos all at one time?
No, but I'm probably gonna do loads there. Like I've got so many videos I want to make. I've just been non-stop thinking about, and I've just been waiting for the clips to come out. And now I think because Jonathan put in one of his vlogs that they have 3 Incredibles 2 videos they want to make. Now I've got 6. If there isn't an overlap there, I will be shocked.
Oh, I'm sure there will be.
And that's the fear for me with it coming out 2 weeks earlier. That gives them 4 videos to put out. If they share 3 with me, I will be like, oh, that has just kicked me in in the nuts there because like I'm kind of like waiting out.
Right, then you lose half your content.
Yeah,
there.
half my content. Which is
But
one of the reasons
I don't
why...
think.
Sorry?
I was just saying, I don't think that they'll put out, and I could be wrong about this. I'm not in their war room or anything, but I don't think that they're going to put out 3 videos on the exact same content.
Yeah, they probably won't.
Back to back to back.
Unless it does really
back.
well, like their Infinity War stuff did.
Yeah, there was
Right.
a couple weeks where every video was like, this is
But
the
that
thing
wasn't
about Marvel.
planned. They did the first Infinity War video, and they were like, "Oh crap, this was huge," and they had to like restructure things so that they could ride that.
But they're very good at what they do. I don't even know what makes them so good at what they do, and that's what's like but I don't even look at the title when I watch their videos. And there are other channels that do very similar stuff that I'm just not nearly as intrigued to click on every video. And I'm like, how can I get to be just like everyone just watches all my videos no matter what? Because they've got something about them that gets them there, and I don't know what it is. But,
Well, I mean, for me, what it is growing up with them.
yeah.
And like, so like, I have no idea what the secret sauce is because I was there. Like, they're my brothers, so I'm just gonna watch their videos.
Yeah.
It's Vsauce. That's the secret sauce.
He's an example of a YouTuber who's just kind of like gone on to like make YouTube original series, and Liza Koshy's done that recently as well. Very interesting.
Do you like
group for
Liza?
YouTubers. Liza.
Do you like Liza?
Yeah. Is there a reason I shouldn't? I think she's very funny.
No, I don't know. I just like, to me, Liza is such an example of like that was the youth moment for me, where it was like, I can see that a lot of children like this and a lot of people younger than me like this, but this is just not even funny at all for me.
She's absolutely hilarious. But
I have no idea who Liza is. The only reason I know her name is because she was on an episode of GMM.
Do you know David Dobrik?
No, I am so
No,
disconnected
I have
from
no idea who
YouTube.
that is.
Like, I'll be honest with you.
They're just very... David Dobrik's another one for me. Everything he uploads, I click on. I think everyone's like that with him. He gets like 5 million views every upload, and he uploads like 3 times a week, and he just uploads his vlogs, and everyone clicks them, and just they get... You never see a drop in views for it. But that's the aspiration for any YouTuber. If you can find that thing that people are just going to watch no matter what, you've got something. But no matter what that is, once you've found it, you're going to get sick of it. I don't think it's possible to make the same videos week in, week out and not get bored of what you're doing. Eventually you will, I think.
I think that's true because YouTubers are inherently entrepreneurs. I think that if you got somebody, like if you built a YouTuber and if you hired somebody and you were like, you are entry-level YouTuber and your promotions will come each 100,000 subscribers, and that's how your life is going to be structured, I don't think that person would have any problem. This is exactly what Watch Mojo does, right?
Yeah.
Like, that person doesn't have any problem making the exact same videos over and over and over and over again.
Okay, yeah.
No, I mean, that's us, though. Is like, I didn't have any problem doing 12 Marvel movies in a row. Not at least to the public. It's like I complain about them privately.
But I think...
As anybody's
going
going to do, but you're still going to sit down and make the
I'm not saying
episode.
12 videos in a row. I'm saying, imagine you're a Minecraft YouTuber and you play Minecraft every day for 6 years. There is no way, even if you're getting 10 million views on each one and you're making millions and millions, there's
That's
no
what
way
I'm saying.
you
It's
can't
just
get
not.
sick of that.
It's not any different of any other job.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's like I got bored, making cold calls and selling insurance. I still did it. I still went into work and did it every day.
Yeah.
And I think Stampy Cat's probably a lot happier with doing the Minecraft videos than I was making cold calls.
Yeah. Well, I'm not like trying to make it. Yeah. But either way.
No, I completely understand what
yeah,
you're saying. Like
yeah.
I'm with it.
I think it's and I think most YouTube, like there's so many YouTubers who make videos now about like being depressed, and a YouTube burnout's been a big thing recently.
Yeah, there just was an ear biscuit about that.
And it's kind of like
Because you're really getting people that have been doing this every day for 10 years.
Yeah,
Like,
and you can't enjoy what you're doing unless you switch it up. Like that's one of the reasons why I started vlogging, because it was something different I could do that gave me more freedom in terms of creativity.
I think that is exactly where vlogs and gaming channels came from.
Yeah.
Was YouTubers being like, I make these videos, but now I want to make something else, and you're going to deal with it.
Yeah, I just decided I'm not going to make a second channel. I'm just going to upload it on my main channel, and it's going to get more views, and you're going to get used to it.
The world will come to decide whether or not that was a good idea.
It will. And I think it's doing better now. It didn't start that well, but I think people are starting to get used to it, and I think people are watching the vlogs more than they
Well, see,
were.
this is the thing with why I sort of understand the second channel is like, yeah, it's going to end up netting you more subs. It may not end up netting you more views is the thing, because like you're definitely going to have the group of people that are like, I watch Seamus for the Seamus vlogs, and like the other people that are like, I watch Seamus for the videos, the normal videos, and they're not going to watch the blogs and the vlogs, and the vlog people aren't going to watch the normal videos.
I think for me at the moment it is people watch the normal videos and the vlogs, or just the normal videos, but you don't lose anything from not watching the vlogs. I don't promote the vlogs in my normal videos, and I think that's the way I'm gonna keep doing it.
Right, and for sure, and I'm just to give credence to the reason to have a second channel is like I can kind of see that being a thing where it's like if people just like the vlog content, they can have the channel just for the vlog content.
Yeah, okay.
Or the game content or whatever.
Yeah.
So I just to sort of get back on track, Ethan did ask in our Facebook group if anybody had any
some
questions about Toy Story 2,
Let me get
and
those
these were
pulled up real quick.
I've got them right here.
Okay, well, I'm going to pull them up because they were my questions.
Okay.
And normally you ask all the questions without me having any part of it, so.
Okay, but we've got Seamus here. You're a Pixar expert.
Okay. Self-proclaimed Pixar expert.
I would say
All experts are self-proclaimed experts.
Yeah. I
Nobody
would say you're
proclaims them to
also
be experts until you proclaim yourself to be an expert.
a Toy Story expert. I would say while Ethan's pulling these up and getting ready, Seamus, this is, if John had written the Pixar theory at this movie, which was what, the third installment ever?
Yeah.
It's so clear. It's so obvious that it's happening, right? Because like
It's
in the
just
first
directly
movie,
stated.
Right. It's directly stated that the bugs are in this movie.
Yes.
Right, and Woody was in A Bug's Life.
Yeah.
Woody's in A Bug's Life?
Yeah.
I don't know how much people latch on to the fact the Pixar theory is intentional, because I think everyone knows it's not intentional by the creators to be this shared universe. I don't believe.
Well, but
Right.
through the first three movies, though, it is.
It's a nice idea, but I think it. Yeah, I think that it. Yeah, I see that, but the whole thing, and I think this is the message Super Colin Brothers is sharing, is that it's kind of like it's almost like a game to see how we can fit it in, and people are just playing along.
Right.
And it's just fun to see how it fits in. And I think Pixar should realize how beneficial it is for them to have this kind of shared universe thing and not do any, like, just try to like make it more exciting, and like, because I'm just giving them free promotion. If they put a huge Easter egg in a video or in a film, it's just free promotion for them, really, because someone's going to make a video on
Right.
it. And
Right.
Wait, are you under the impression that Pixar does not know about the Pixar
oh no,
theory?
Pixar know about the Pixar theory.
Okay, I was gonna say.
I'm saying they definitely did not set out and think we're going to make this huge shared universe in the same way Marvel did. Like, that was never the intention. But some people genuinely believe that is the case, and I think that's why it gets so much hate. But yeah, they are. The bugs are in the film, but they're also very small. In the film, they're like half the size of Buzz's like little finger.
Yeah, they're very small, so there's a little bit of continuity error there. But
again, I don't think it's the actual bugs, is it? Because of the whole time travel stuff. Because
I don't know. It's very confusing, the whole thing, because you're absolutely right. Like, it's a fun theory to play with and put together. And up until, like, I guess Brave was the most recent one when the Pixar theory got big.
Yeah.
Hello Wife is, like once Brave came out, that's when, John posted the theory and Jonathan made the video about it, and then it sort of blew up. And I think from that point on, Pixar has been much more intentional with like making the Easter eggs sort of work in their favor.
But apparently they're making a film to do with like elves and dragons in the future, which will just completely break everything we know.
I thought The Good Dinosaur broke everything, so.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's just the way it's chalked up is like, it just happens before everything else.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Why would it
I got
break
some
everything though?
Well, I mean, you could say the same thing about
It's
this
just
futuristic
kind of a
dragons and
cop-out,
elves.
I guess.
Right, it's like, it just happens after everything.
Yeah, and that's probably
you
what
know,
it'll be played off to. But again,
right, because Pixar at this point is definitely like, hey, that's a cool thing you got there. It's not like they're not going to come out.
They denied it though.
They denied it.
Andrew Stanton just said like, nah, that
I
was
didn't know
but
that.
they didn't deny the theory was true. They denied it wasn't their intention when they set out to make the film. Andrew Stanton said that in a video. But again,
I definitely get why they're playing it close to the chest.
But no one's really seen that video. It's a very small video and it doesn't get shared widely. And I think, again, it's a game. I don't think the theory is that it was Pixar's intention to make it, whereas the universe is just this game, and the theory is that they intended on making
Well,
it.
and that's what's so interesting about this, and especially also all the Harry Potter theories, is like we have J.K. Rowling, who's perfectly happy to answer all these questions, and you have Pixar on the other end that's just like, yep.
The problem is all the popular Harry Potter theories suck, and she just and so like the one she gets sent is like, is Ron Dumbledore? And she's like, no, but like she doesn't actually get sent like a decent, well thought out theory enough, and that frustrates me a lot.
But she definitely comes up with stuff, like people will suggest it, and she'll be like, yeah, absolutely, that was totally my intention, and she's really just
20 years Nagini has been.
Yeah, and you know she's just sitting there like,
I don't think
that's
that's
cool
true.
that somebody thought of that. I never thought of that.
I don't know how much you can believe her, but 20 years, like, but I don't know. She did name it in the sense that the snake is Naga is like a word for snake woman, but the theory's been around ever since Nagini was first announced, like 2001 or something. The theory first came out like then because of her name being
Right.
Nagini. People were like, she's a woman. Like when the Goblet of Fire came out, people were theorizing about this, and it didn't really come back into play until there was the snake woman in Fantastic Beasts. And I actually have an interesting, I told this in my video about this, I was like, I saw the theory a week before the Super Carlin brothers made a video on it, but brushed it off as a weak theory with not much evidence, and now their video's got like 2 million views, and I'm like, I should have made a video
Because
on that.
it got 100% confirmed.
Yeah, 100%. Oh,
Like-
no, I'm not denying it.
Yeah.
But the theory I saw was like 3 lines long. They turned that into like a 10-minute video with tons of evidence and stuff that I wouldn't have even looked up and researched. I was just like, yeah.
Right.
So they definitely put in the work and got that out. And I would even give them credit for coming up with the theory because of how much they added to it. But I did see the theory. Like, it's been around so long. I looked up, like, I Google searched it, Nagini woman. You can find, like, results for it in, like, 2004. So, on the internet.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've got some questions from Facebook. So, Seamus, we might need a little help with these.
Okay.
Some of these are just opinion questions. Some of them are like sort of fact questions. The first one I'm going to ask, this is from Becca Eddowes on Facebook, and she says, why doesn't Woody remember his dang backstory?
So long ago. I don't know. That's the theory, isn't it? Is that he was... like it was so long ago for him that he just like, because apparently like when you're Buzz, your backstory is like is reality to you because he's new, but once you get old
Right.
enough,
And
when he's been around like 40 years, it just becomes a distant memory and you forget it. Like, I don't know, I can't reference not being able to remember something 40 years ago, but I imagine it's easier to remember something that happened yesterday than something that happened 40 years ago. Like,
Right. And they even talk about that in Toy Story 1. I don't know if they speak heavily on it, but there's a moment during that introduction with Buzz where he's like, where somebody says that, oh, he's a new toy, he's going through, you know, sort of the existential crisis that comes with that of, you know, being unboxed or whatever.
Right.
I guess that
For sure.
And,
So,
you know,
I guess that explains
So-
the whole why Buzz believes he's a space ranger as well. Like, just the reality of being a toy just eventually sinks in, and your actual backstory becomes more of a past. Like, even when Rex introduces himself to Buzz, he says something like, "I'm from play school." Like, he doesn't really remember his backstory. He just knows where he's from. I don't know. Like, yeah.
So was Woody Andy's dad's toy then?
That's the theory.
That's the theory.
But they never labeled it as a theory because Mike Mozart said it was fact and that he was told it by the creators. But then Andrew Stanton, who was there, shot it down. So maybe it's something they want to delve into in Toy Story 4, and that's why they shot it down.
You
Yeah.
mean Toy Story B4?
I do not think it will take place before the original, but
We'll see about that. We'll see.
I would be very, very surprised.
Yeah, like Tim Allen's in it.
Yes, yeah.
he's in a
Tim, I
commercial.
didn't even think of that. Tim Allen is in it.
Maybe he voices the dad, and that's why Woody hates Buzz so much.
Right, but like, so that brings the other point up, though, that wouldn't Woody remember, like, the years of abandonment and his original owner?
Maybe.
No, I think the idea is that Andy was born after Woody's dad. Like, Andy's dad died after Woody was born, so he's never really abandoned.
Yeah, but he was certainly, put up in the attic.
No, he was like hidden away. Yeah, but
And he had another owner.
but maybe he just lost track of time, just closed in a box. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple holes there, but Andy's mom does say that Woody is an old family toy.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. Anyway, so Seamus, Woody or Buzz?
For me,
Yeah.
that's a tough one. Oh, I never know how to answer this question, but I would say Woody.
You'd say Woody?
Yeah, but my favorite character is Rex.
Hey, fair enough.
Really?
Yeah.
I have a Buzz Lightyear right here,
Where did you find a Buzz Lightyear?
in my attic.
No one can see.
He's
this
an,
Wow.
on the
he's an
podcast,
original
so-
Buzz Lightyear
Yeah,
from like 1995.
I had a big one when I was a kid, and obviously when I was a kid, that was huge next to me, and I much
Yeah.
preferred the small ones. And I like did a video where I like put them all in a box the other day, and I only have small ones because I just preferred small ones because I liked ones I could like where I could hold a few at a time. I don't know why that's the thing, but I just...
I had a full-size Woody and a full-size Buzz. 2 full-size Buzzes. I do not know where Woody is gone or the new Buzz. This is the original Buzz that does not have the arm flap, and he does not work anymore. His batteries are dead. Only one wing will come out, and he's missing his helmet flap. But I do have
Does
my
it
original...
say Andy on his boot?
It does not. I wrote my name on Woody's boot, but not Buzz's.
No, I had a full collection, but Slinky got all twisted, and...
Oh yeah, I definitely had a Slinky that got destroyed.
And my mom sold most of the rest of them when I was like 6.
Did she even see the movie?
My mum.
Does she know how destructive that is to the
This was
toys?
before Toy Story 3 came out, I guess, though. So
Yeah, but that was Toy Story 2 where the toy
true,
where the
but
yard sale
I don't
was.
know. She'd have watched them with me multiple times, yeah. But nah, she sold them off. She said she sold them off for like £200. So she was like, it was one of the best things she ever did.
Yeah, you go, girlfriend.
But yeah, so somewhere I have a new Buzz that has all the features with like the arm flap and the belt from Toy Story 2, and I also have a Woody somewhere that did work. He had the string and everything.
There's a snake in my boot.
It was actually voiced by Jim Hanks.
Yeah, I knew that.
What does that mean? What is there's a snake in my boot mean?
There's a snake in his boot.
Yeah, actually, it's a good question.
No, because he laughs at the toy that does it, where he's like, "Oh, this is a practical effect of a metaphor that I constantly talk about."
No, I think that's just a realistic thing, is that snakes hide in damp, dark places, and cowboys had to check their boots for snakes before they put them on every day.
We don't have cowboys.
That is a real thing.
Is it?
Like,
You don't have cowboys in England?
watch some westerns.
The most Western movie I've seen is when they go to the Wild West in Back to the Future 2 or 3, whichever one they go to.
3.
Yeah, that's as Western as I've seen. Oh no, and there's the one A Million Ways to Die in the West.
Oh,
that
I never
comedy
saw
film
that.
with Neil Patrick Harris.
It's not all that great.
Oh, I got a message.
I did not
from
enjoy it.
Ethan Edgehill.
I'm not a
did you share
huge
with
Seth MacFarlane fan.
He sounds
I like
a
Seth.
lot
I think
like
he's
the
pretty
guy
funny.
from Family Guy.
He is
That was
the
the
he
joke,
is the
yeah.
guy from Family. Okay, I'm just making sure.
Just sent you a snake in my boot meme. That's all it was.
My internet's loading it. I am a snake. He does look high as F.
Did I just ruin your day a little bit?
No, I find it quite funny. I've seen much worse Toy Story memes. I get them all the time, like dirty Toy Story memes. I'm like, okay, thank you.
I didn't need this.
I don't really care.
I'm looking at some
just
right
like,
now.
I'm just like, I don't know why it got sent to me. I'm like, okay, thanks.
This is a picture of an actual snake wearing a toy cowboy boot.
Well, that's a thing that exists.
So many paws in the water hole.
Do you think Sheriff Woody, did they save the prospector?
No, they gave him to a girl.
No. In Woody's Roundup, the TV show.
They never finished it.
Yeah, you'll never know. So, speaking of the prospector, here's an interesting question. Where is it? I lost it. Oh gosh.
Interestingly.
Oh, this is from
sorry.
Trevor Repetto, and he says, "How and when and why do you think the prospector originally got out of his box?"
Ooh.
I think he'd been opened because the box. So we see in the movie that Al is not above falsely repairing a toy to make it seem like new and selling it as new, right? Because he does that with Woody.
Right.
He buys Woody even though he's very clearly ripped.
Oh yeah.
I think, and you can see on the prospector's plastic casing that it has been at least warped a little. Like it looks like it's been touched a lot, which is something they had to like intentionally animate. Like it wasn't just gonna be that way. It could have just been a clear sheet. So I think when he got Prospector, he put him in the box, and the Prospector's just a liar.
Oh wow, that adds a lot to his backstory. So I like that idea a lot. I personally never thought of it, but I like that a lot. Yeah, 100% agree. I like that, Tyler. Thank you for that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. What do you think, Ethan?
I think you're probably right. That
Make a
sounds
video
pretty good
about
to me.
that.
You go right ahead.
Yeah,
You
go
just
for it.
Make sure Bacon and Eggs Media at YouTube or YouTube.com.
Is there enough to stretch that video out like 5-6 minutes though? Like that's
mean,
like
maybe.
that's like
You
a
put
20-second video.
I mean, you could easily be like, and then dun dun dun. Look at his box. I don't know. I'm not a
Yeah.
YouTuber. I don't know how
Stinky
to.
Pete's backstory explained.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. The Prospector.
Zachary Pearson asks, "How do you guys feel about the bloopers in Toy Story Story
I
2.
love it.
I love it.
That.
I live
The fact
live
they
I
went
did
through
love
the
them.
effort to animate that.
Right,
is
that's
just
the thing, is, like,
Pixar in a
bloopers-
nutshell. Like,
Right, when you're making a normal movie, bloopers just happen.
Yeah,
and it wasn't like they took audio recorded bloopers and animated them. Because clearly they were speaking based on what happened, like as if the characters were actors.
yeah, I love it. I think that whoever did that, whoever made that, like that would have been one person on that job, I imagine. Just
Oh, I think that would have been like a
maybe a
team that worked on that for a year.
Okay, well, apparently an animator can get through 2 minutes in a year of footage.
That's insane.
So therefore, that was like a minute of bloopers. So maybe it was one person.
That was more than a
Maybe.
minute of bloopers.
Yeah, like a 2 minutes, but I don't think there was more than 2 minutes of bloopers. Either way,
I don't
whatever team, whatever people worked on that, I would just love.
But yeah,
to
the
meet
fact
them.
that they had to script and pay the voice actors to record and animate it is
Yeah.
so extra, but I
find
love it.
I don't know why they don't do that in their movies more.
They do that in Monsters Inc. as well.
They do that they do the whole play of
Yeah.
take that thing back where it came from, also help me at the end of
There's
the thing.
bloopers too, because that's where Mike tells Boo to go throw up.
Yeah, and they did bloopers at the end of Cars, is it? Or they do something at the end of Cars.
It has been a hot freaking minute since I've seen Cars.
I just remember there's
You did what in this cup?
There's the thing
love
where
Cars.
like they react to the other Pixar films that all Carsified.
Piston Cup. I just got that joke.
Is that a joke
Mater
from the
says
end
that.
of Cars?
No, it's like in the middle of the movie where
Of course. it
Lightning
is.
McQueen is like,
Is that Mater?
Doc's the Hudson Hornet. He won the Piston Cup. And Mater spits out his drink and he goes, "You did what in this cup?"
I've never got that joke before. But I've probably only seen that film twice, but I have never got that joke before.
I'm like lightheaded. That is hysterical. I did not know that was a thing. That's funny.
Honestly, like that moment in that movie is part of the reason I like Cars.
But no, they don't do it enough. Like that, yeah, if there's something they should do, they do it in Toy Story 3 a little bit as well, where they show like they have like an end bit, and they do it in Inside Out as well, where they have an end bit. Inside Out, they like show inside the heads of other characters that like.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
my
I
favorite
love
scene in the
that.
whole movie.
I love that. I don't know why they focused the entire movie just in Riley's head. They should have just gone through loads of people's heads. Like there wasn't enough going into other people's head. They showed it was a thing they were willing to do when they went into the dad and the
I'm
mom's head.
sorry. Inside Out is the best Pixar movie by a long margin.
How dare you talk
okay.
about Coco
It
like
just
that?
is.
Do you
Like
really,
it is.
guys
It is.
really think Inside Out and Coco,
perfect.
two recent films, are Pixar's best work? Like in this
I think
modern
Coco was
era,
alright. I
don't think you can compare the modern era to like the early 2000s era of Pixar.
I really like Nemo.
Yeah.
I really like Toy Story 2. I loved this movie. Watching this morning, 190 or an hour and a half. Oh my god, what a delight.
I would still take Finding Nemo over this. I'll be real with you.
No, I can see.
I
that.
love this movie.
My problem with Finding Nemo is that it didn't need a sequel. It really
love the sequel.
didn't need a sequel.
So you think Incredibles did, but Finding Nemo
Incredibles
didn't?
teased the sequel right at the end. Like it was
Right, and they should have done it in 2006.
But they wouldn't have been able to animate it fast enough. I don't like
Okay,
the fact they
2007.
waited so long. I agree with you. They could have done like 2008, 2009 maybe. But Incredibles warranted a sequel a lot more than Finding Nemo did. Finding Nemo was like making a sequel for like Ratatouille or Up. Like it doesn't need a sequel.
Oh, I agree. They had to like force the sequel.
But it's because
when
it
at
did
the beginning
so
of it, they were
well.
like,
I
Finding
felt
Nemo
Incredibles
did
2 was
so
very
well.
forced.
When you go through Pixar films, like its box office success for its time is insane. Like,
Yeah.
like they didn't beat it. Like it like made like three times as much as the original Toy Story. Only a few years later, it made like twice as much as Toy Story 2. Like it did so much better than any of their other films. And and then Toy Story 3 eventually beat it like 7 years later by like a few million. But then Finding Dory didn't do it as well. But
because like Finding Dory, it had its problems.
yeah, it isn't perfect.
I liked it. I like it well enough.
I'm making a full video on it soon.
I didn't see much reason in, and this is like obviously such a stupid and nitpicky thing, but like continuing to make the joke about Sigourney Weaver was like nails on a chalkboard to me.
What
I thought it was
the
funny.
joke?
I enjoyed it.
Sigourney Weaver does like,
He's in Wall-E.
I guess-
Oh, she's in Wall-E. Sorry.
oh,
yeah.
she is?
And she's the one of the droids in Star Wars or something. Is she C-3PO or R2-D2?
So she does Sigourney Weaver. No, she's an actress.
Yeah, but she does like a lot of like voice acting for like
Oh.
she's the AI in Wall-E.
Anyway, she's the voiceover for at the aquarium.
Yeah. But I didn't get what.
So
the
she's
joke
like
was.
she's like God to them.
Star Wars. Is she not in Star Wars? I was certain she.
Anyway, I thought Coco was alright.
Okay, Coco's better than alright.
And it's decent. It's pretty good. I don't think it needed to be a musical, and I disliked it. I liked it less because it was.
But again, I don't think Inside Out's there. I think Inside Out and Coco are what they are. Them showing they can still make good movies. But
Inside Out was 1,000,000.7 times better than Incredibles 2.
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
I cry every time
it's
that
so
movie
good.
happens.
What's the sad bit for you? Because I feel like people.
Oh, Inside Out?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the Bing Bong thing.
Yeah, same. But a lot of
Take
people
it to the
find
moon
the
for
whole
me.
like parents running away from home a lot more sad. I don't know. And I get this with
But I didn't give a crap about Riley.
yeah, I have this whole thing with Toy Story 3. We'll get to this next episode, I guess. But
Yeah.
I find the saddest part by far him giving away the toy, whereas everyone else finds the saddest part when they're all holding hands going into the fire,
Like the incinerator.
That is absolutely the saddest part of that movie.
But for me, the saddest part,
Ethan's choking up right now talking about it.
significantly sadder is the ending when he's like, "Thanks, guys." That I find that gives me goosebumps every time.
I mean, that definitely as well.
For me,
and
I think that resonated more fondly with me because it was like I could relate to it almost when I saw it, and I still like that. I don't think I could. There are some scenes in like television and film that I could not watch without getting goosebumps. Infinity War, the ending. You've got like maybe the I Am Your Father goosebump, and it's the
From Toy Story 2?
Toy Story 2. Definitely. Well, that's why I heard it first.
The Toy Story 2 is definitely the Sarah McLachlan song.
It's got the most Zerg in it, so just from that, it's the best film, right?
Right.
No, Toy Story
I love
2
the
is
character
my
of Zurg
favorite
in this
for
movie.
a long time, but I've recently changed my ways to Toy Story 3. But my opinions change a lot, and that's a big problem I have with making videos. I'm like making an opinion, and I'm like state my opinion as fact. I'm like, yeah, my opinion changed.
I changed my mind about this, and now, after considering some evidence, I've decided this.
Toy Story 2.
I think I like Inside Out, Monsters Inc., and Finding Nemo better than the Toy Story movies, and then all of the Toy Story movies, and then everything
The
else.
Incredibles? Up.
I really didn't care about Incredibles that
That's
much.
why
I'll
you
be
don't
honest
like
with
The
you.
Incredibles 2 that much.
I thought the original was all right. I thought the second one was completely unnecessary.
Up.
Oh, you see now, Seamus, you actually brought up an interesting point just now. I can see why not liking the first one will make it harder to like the second one, or being indifferent on the first one. I'm sure you think it's a good movie, Ethan.
Yeah, it's just like it's a decent movie. It's not.
But
it's
to
aight.
me, there are very few franchises where the characters alone just being in a movie is enough for me to go in with like expectations that like even if the film's not that great, I'll enjoy it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if it's a bad movie, I'm not going to enjoy it. Like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is an excellent example of this. I loved the first one. I was invested in the characters. I cared about everything. And then Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 came out and it was just like a terrible movie.
It isn't good.
It was just bad.
There was no moment where I genuinely felt worried. Like there was the thing that pinnacled that film out to me was the bit where Rocket gave Groot the like explosive thing. There was not one moment where I had any thought in my mind that Groot was going to press the button to kill all of them. And it
Right.
didn't feel like a genuine character crisis enough. And
I also was not at all concerned that Ego was going to win.
yeah, exactly. Whereas with Infinity War, there were moments where I was like, what if Thanos wins? Obviously,
Or
we know.
Tony Stark's about to die.
Yeah,
Like-
oh my god, yeah. That
Yeah.
was big. But I was like, there's
Stabbed
no
by
way
his
they're
own
gonna kill
weapon.
off Spider-Man or Black Panther or they killed them all off.
Yep.
Are we allowed to talk spoilers
now.
for that film yet?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
October.
And the thing
in
is,
6 months.
is a lot of people like Ethan, I can almost feel is about to say, you know, like, but a lot of people will say they come back, or they're definitely going to come back, or they're not going to stay killed off. Like we know Spider-Man Far From Home is being filmed, but like we are existing in a world right now where they are not back.
That is just so much more important to you than
I love that.
anybody else I've spoken
I
to,
love
and
that.
that it really probably should be. Like
I do like that though.
because Marvel has chosen to ruin everything.
I
Because Marvel
I
has
agree
chosen
that
I don't
Marvel
get people who get very like upset about it. Like people are like, oh, I hated the ending of Infinity War. I don't get how people can say they hated it really because it's such a good ending.
But that's my thing behind it, though, is that it took impact off the ending of Infinity War because Marvel was like, yeah, we've been filming Spider-Man 2 and Black Panther
okay.
2 and Guardians 3 and all this jazz. And I'm like, well, they're not dead then, and he's not dead, and he's not dead.
But
what was the point of this?
to me, it didn't matter because it still was shocking. I didn't think they were going to kill
it was definitely
characters off.
shocking.
Yeah.
But that's why I think that it's just not resonated with me as much as it has with everybody else, because I'm like, obviously this is just like, they're going to come back in the next movie.
Like, I know they're not going to come
But they're
back, but I
not
can
back
still
yet.
respect it. But, like, imagine, this is the way I see it, is like, if you're going to show your kid that film, and show them all the Marvel films through without them knowing those films are coming up, they're gonna lose
then that's a whole
their
different
mind
that's a whole different ballgame.
when they see
whole
that.
different ball game. And that's the
Well,
same
and, like-
that's the same conversation you have though with Star Wars is like what order do you show the kids a Star Wars movie in, because obviously you're gonna ruin something for them one way or the other. They're not made in a cohesive fashion that you can watch them without giving away something.
This is actually why The Force Awakens is in my top 5 favorite movies, is because the prequels ruined Empire, right?
Yeah.
Is like now
You can't-
there's almost no way
you
to
can't
watch it
start with
without
prequels
knowing.
without
Show
ruining
kids the
Empire.
prequels, though.
But Han Solo does die. Han Solo is stabbed by his son and dropped
Yeah.
off of like
That was the first
building.
big spoiler I remember ever hitting the internet, because Dumbledore dying was before my time on the internet.
that's so weird to
And
me.
but Han Solo's death, that was the first spoiler I ever remember, like, just killing it. Like, I remember I didn't go to a midnight release of that show because I had school the next day when that came out. And I remember there were people at school that day who'd seen it, who'd gone to the midnight release. And I remember, like, just did not want to be there. I had headphones in that entire day at school and I was walking the corridors because I did not want to hear anything. I saw it that evening. Didn't find out any spoilers, got to see it. I'm so glad I didn't hear any spoilers. And then I got in the next day. The amount of times I heard Han Solo dies the next day at school is insane.
Yeah, but that's like a spoiler. Like when you get to show your kids Star Wars, now it's going to be tough to get them interested. But you can start with The Phantom Menace and watch all the way through, and they still get an amazing scene.
Yeah.
They still get an amazing experience. And I don't know, with the Avengers moving forward, I think there's no way Spider-Man doesn't come back. But at this point, and T'Challa has to come back. But like, I won't be surprised because of the whole James Gunn thing if they did some reshoots and they only get a few of them back. And, Star-Lord is done. And Drax
That
is
would
done.
be bold. Because, I don't think they're
would
going to
be
make
awesome.
the Guardians 3 now.
I don't know why they signed a contract to make one. The second one was so bad.
Yeah. Well,
And even if they do make a third one, they can make
they
it
could
about,
do a full, they could
say
do a full film, but
they could bring. I would be okay, and Ethan may disagree, but I would be okay with bringing back Star-Lord, Groot, and Rocket.
I mean,
and
they would
Gamora.
have to bring back Star-Lord. You can't bring him
I
back
would love
without
Thor to
Star-Lord.
be in it. I would
Right.
just love
I just
Thor
don't.
to
I'm
be a
sick
lead
of Chris
character
Pratt.
in
That's
it.
just a me thing.
And then getting Sylvester Stallone's character to be one of the bigger leads in the film, and I think you've got
And I would
good
love
movie
it to be
in the works.
directed
Oh, yeah.
by the guy who directed Thor Ragnarok, because he can do a follow-up to a poor film pretty well.
Taika. Yeah.
If there's any existing Marvel director that should do it, it's him.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that would be
But
my
I would
first
also be
choice.
okay with-
But, like, Suicide Squad 2 is a film I'm actually excited for now. So the first one in a long time, I've been like, I actually might go see that because they've got James Gunn. I want to see where that goes. I want to see how he deals with it. Is he going to make it like musical based like he did with Guardians?
That's what they tried with Suicide Squad 1. Was it was supposed to be like
And they've
Guardians.
got the
like a rock
perfect
opera
director.
almost.
I hope they start from scratch though. But
I mean, I think it's still gonna have
Yeah.
Will Smith.
Oh, yeah,
and-
yeah.
There was
and
nothing.
Margot Robbie.
The problem is there's nothing wrong with those characters. That movie was just bad.
yeah.
Well, like Killer Croc and Boomerang were weird characters. to
Yeah, but I mean,
include.
like, there's nothing
But,
wrong
like-
with Will Smith as Deadshot. There's nothing wrong with Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. People have their issues with Jared Leto as the Joker. I don't think it was a problem. I probably like
No,
Suicide
people
Squad more than most people. Like, I get that it's bad. I enjoyed it.
I haven't seen it.
And I just don't see what the anti-hype is about.
Okay, so
And Tyler-
Suicide Squad got very bad Rotten Tomatoes score, but an okay audience score. And it's the same thing with Venom.
Right.
It's got a very bad critic score, but a good audience. Like, Venom's audience score is like 90%.
Yeah.
And
I think part of that though is people rebelling against
Critics.
the critics.
And
Yeah, I
is
think
that a
once it
similar
hits-
thing with The Last Jedi, just in the opposite direction?
Yeah, exactly. Once it hits 1 million ratings, that audience rating is going to go down. Also, Last Jedi was apparently hacked by the Russians.
Was that
Is what I'm
actually?
hearing now.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a thing going around right now that like there was Russian collusion to like get people on the train of them hating it and like people writing negative reviews because they were already negative reviews,
Why?
like seeding it with negative reviews. I have no idea.
But
I haven't read that
the
much about
negative
it.
reviews caused that film to do worse than it would have done without them. 100% believe
Right,
that.
and the fact of it is that negative reviews breed negative reviews and positive reviews breed positive reviews.
100%. Yeah.
And that is part of my issue, honestly, with these latter day Pixar films. Is like The Incredibles 2 is not a 90 whatever % movie. It is people rating it because they're like, well, it's a Pixar film. We rated the last one really high. We have to rate this one really high. It's obviously not in the 70 category, but I don't feel like it's a 95 or whatever it ended up being.
I think it's just good. The problem with it, it's like it's positive or negative. It's like it's binary, isn't it? And then
Yeah.
they add up
Right,
the binary
yeah.
scores.
It's-
So people are
and that's what the
tilted
thing is, though,
towards. It's like the thing is, you could get 10-6 and you get and one and
Oh, for sure.
and or get like 9 10s out of 20 reviews, and the one with
But the point of it is
better.
is how many reviews
Right.
does it take before all the critics are looking at it and going, well, so and so gave it this, I feel like I have to give it this, and then that just starts snowballing, and that definitely happens. That is a real thing.
Yeah, I do feel some pressure for that as somebody in the film critic community personally, and like we're nobody. Like this
How
is a very
far
small
off are you guys
podcast.
from being able to become a registered critic on Rotten Tomatoes?
No idea.
Because
No, maybe an
I've
email.
looked at the
I don't
rules.
know.
I was like looking at see if I could become one. It's like you have to post weekly reviews for 2
We do that.
years.
We're doing that, yeah. For 2 years, then we're
Okay.
very far
And you
off.
have to get and you have to have a big enough audience on them or something. But I didn't think you guys were that far off. Like you're a year away or something.
I guess
It's
we
so
can
cool
count
to
the
have
shows
that
as weekly
say
reviews,
on Rotten
yeah.
Tomatoes.
Like, yeah, top critic or whatever.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Um,
Because then you could be that guy that gives Paddington 2 its first negative review.
Well, that's-
you wouldn't want to do that.
I don't know
but
that
I'm
I
just saying
would,
that you could
but
be
that's
that
the
guy.
thing is, I'm never going to be that guy.
Yeah.
It's just like, well, everybody else likes this movie. I'm going to refuse to like it.
Yeah, there is
But
that
like
guy,
next
though.
week on the show, we're of course this is in the past now, and everybody knows how this played out. But next week, real life for us, we're reviewing Venom, and there's this like weird pressure to get it right, whatever we review it as. To
Oh, you feel pressure about it?
Well, I'm pretty confident I still have not seen it at this moment in time. I'm pretty confident that I won't like it, but I'm afraid that me saying this now is going to be like, well, you just went into it
that's gonna
trying not
affect
to like
your...
it.
Like my friend really wants to go see it, and I was just kind of like, I don't know if I want to see it. I wasn't that excited for it beforehand, as a lot of people were, and then I saw the bad reviews, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna go see it. But if he drags me along, I'll go see it.
I mean, I go into movies plenty of times where I'm not necessarily excited, and sometimes I've seen my favorite movies like that. Sometimes I've seen movies that are a lot better than I thought they were going to be, and even in the course of the show I've done that. Incredibles 2 was a movie for me. Like, I was ready to give Incredibles 2 a 60. I didn't think it was going to be good. The trailers did nothing for me. I didn't feel like it was necessary. It ended up being a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I still don't love it. It's not going to, I'm not going to go get like
yours
a
be a
Mr. Incredible
would it be a 7
tattoo.
out of 10 for you then?
Probably.
So therefore,
I would
for
say
you, that is a positive review on Rotten Tomatoes. Meaning
Correct.
If there are enough of people that don't think the film deserves to
Correct.
be 90%,
But I can't.
but are giving
But you
it
also can't
positive
review it
reviews.
thinking about, and that's the whole point of Rotten Tomatoes. You can't review it thinking about Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Is you have to think about what is my take on it, and where my take ends up in the grand voice of the thing. Is you can't really think about that. You can't sit there and say, well, I feel like it should get a 70% Rotten Tomato score, so I'm going to give it a negative in hopes that 30 out of 100 people give it a negative.
Well, this is an interesting fact for you just on Incredibles 2, is it's got a 94% tomato meter, but its average rating, and this is why I bring this up, is a 7.9 out of 10.
That's
Yeah,
almost
like, I
as
always-
important to see, the average rating. Maybe that's what they should be. Is that what Metacritic do?
I'm not sure how Metacritic
I
scores
think
it.
so.
Okay.
I think so. I'm pretty sure Metacritic is just a straight aggregator, like where they take the
Yeah.
the
I think
base
that's
out
a
of
better
10
system.
score.
I don't know why Rotten Tomatoes is so much bigger.
Oh, because it's way easier and much more inflammatory.
Yeah.
Like, it's way easier for something to get into the 90s.
It's also a
on
lot more fun
Incredible
to have these
on-
conversations.
But like, yeah, Rotten Tomatoes is like a thing. I genuinely want to start like a betting company over like just like what's the Rotten Tomatoes score gonna be on this film.
We've been doing that. We have
Yeah,
like
you didn't involve me in your bet over Wreck-It Ralph. I'm just saying, like,
we did Wreck-It Ralph. We also did
yeah,
Venom.
I didn't get included in it.
But it's got to be something where like Wreck-It Ralph and Venom, I think, are two really good ones.
What was the prediction for Venom?
It had to be. I said it would be under 35.
I said it would be over 35.
Oh, you were predicting it to be bad from the offset.
Yeah, and we got pretty close on it. It's at 30 right now.
And what's your prediction with Wreck-It Ralph then?
I wasn't part of that.
Tyler.
I don't even remember what it is.
I think it was
it's gonna be. I think it's
75.
going to be under 70. I think it might be rotten, but it might be 50.
But and that's the other thing with Rotten Tomatoes is like there's a certain like there's no a Pixar movie isn't gonna get a 50. It's just not. Like some movies have different scales than others.
Cars 2?
Does it really have a 50?
39.
39. I didn't know they went that low.
Yeah, it's by far below it.
I did not know that.
Cars 3 is in like the 60s, I think.
I thought they were all in either the 70s or the 90s.
No, Cars 2 was like a big thing of like no one, like it did terribly.
Okay, well then take like Star Wars. The Phantom Menace has a 55. Like
Is that
that's a
the
pretty
worst
low
one
bar.
on there?
Yes.
But the audience ratings have them very differently. According to the audience ratings ratings, The Last Jedi is the worst, which
I don't
says it
take
all
the
to
audience
me.
consideration into. Here's my biggest pet peeve about Rotten Tomatoes. As long as we're just finishing up this Rotten Tomatoes discussion, Rotten Tomatoes average reviews for critics are based out of 10, and average reviews for audience are based out of 5.
Yes.
Why?
No idea.
Cars 2 is actually up to 40%. It was 39 when I did a video on it a few months ago, but it's up to 40 now, so someone must have recently given it a positive review. Who knows why?
So yeah, Last Jedi has a 45
Yeah,
audience
it's
rating.
absolutely
But to me,
insane.
the audience rating literally doesn't matter. Like, the audience is wrong.
I do genuinely think that The Last Jedi, there are a lot of people that dislike it, and I don't think... What's the current critic score on it?
91.
I don't think 91% of people like it. I would say it's closer to 80% of people like it. Like, I've met a lot of friends that genuinely say that's the only film they've ever walked out like really disappointed. And I've met people who genuinely don't like it. But the intensive hate it gets on the internet is nothing like what people who genuinely dislike it think. People who genuinely dislike it think, yeah, it was kind of disappointing, but I'm gonna go see the next one.
Yeah. I mean, there's no world where I'm not going to see the
Yeah.
next one.
But I do think the next one is gonna do not that well. Like it'll do well, but I don't think it's gonna do Force Awakens well.
I don't think it'll do Force Awakens well. I think it'll do better than The Last Jedi.
Yeah, okay, I can see that.
They're going to do better than Solo.
Hope so. Could you imagine if it did worse than Solo?
I liked Solo.
Yeah, so do I.
Oh,
I
I did
maintain
too.
this.
I prefer
don't think
Solo to
Solo was
Rogue
all
One.
that bad. I absolutely prefer Solo to Rogue One. Rogue One is an atrocity.
Rogue One has one good scene.
That's generous.
It does?
What?
Which scene is
what
that?
scene do you think I'm referring to?
I don't
Darth
know. I
Vader
can't
scene.
think of a good scene. That's a
You
terrible
don't like
scene.
that scene?
Where he's like, don't choke
No,
on
the
your
one at the end at the
convictions.
end.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, that's freaking
That's
cool.
the good scene. It's like, that was like...
Oh, yeah.
I thought you meant like
I
on
came
the
out of that
Mustafar.
film hyped because of that good scene at the end. I was like, oh, that was so good. But it was realistically just the one scene at the end.
The weird scene on Mustafar kind of ruins that last scene for me, especially if you're talking all-time Star Wars canon and you're watching them in not release order but like chronological order.
Like BBY order? Yeah.
Yeah. Like-
Interestingly, I've seen a video on YouTube. I don't know how they edited it, but it was it was like Darth Vader's fight with Obi-Wan if it was made now, and it kind of fit with the canon so much better. But I still don't know how they edited it. They fully made it look like real legit. Like if you watch a video tonight, look up Darth Vader and Obi-Wan's fight, like made for like now.
As long as we're talking about Star Wars fight scenes, I am still geeking out over the edit of the Obi-Wan Anakin fight set to Mr. Blue Sky from Guardians 2.
That has been my favorite thing. Like, I remember the day of Infinity War came out on DVD. That the deaths of all the characters set to Mr. Blue Sky was just everywhere.
like-
and it was just like, and it was just that was the first time I got to see it since I saw it in cinemas, and I just watched it to Mr. Blue
Right,
Sky.
with
and I
them
was
like
that
them
was the
dying
best
left
thing
and
I've ever
right
seen
with
in
the
my life.
snaps.
Like that's in the second one, right?
Okay, bye everybody.
Are we good?
I lost y'all for a
you guys
second,
froze for me.
but- Oh, then maybe it was you.
I didn't stop recording or anything though.
No, you're fine. It was just Skype.
Yeah. No, for me, was that in the second one, the Mr. Blue Sky scene?
Yeah,
that's
it's
what it is.
the baby
film
Groot fight.
good for me. Like,
I still love that scene.
Yeah, that scene is
regardless
so good.
of the whole fight going on from the
the
perspective
problem was
of Baby
when
Groot while
that
that
scene
song
was
played.
going on, I was like, this film is gonna be so good. Like, it got me
Right,
so
I thought it was
hyped
gonna be
for it.
good.
Like, that made me think this is gonna be a really good sequel, isn't it? It's gonna be better than the original.
So here's my relationship with Guardians is I saw Guardians the first time and didn't really like it that much. I thought because it was really, really, really overhyped for me.
Okay.
Like I was just it was the same way I felt about Deadpool. It was a constant like 6 months of people being like, this is gonna be the greatest movie ever made. And then a month I saw it like toward the end of it being in theaters, and a month of people being like, this is the greatest movie ever made. And then so like my socks were blown off when I saw Guardians. So I saw Guardians, I was like, that was eyed at best. Y'all need to chill. But then I watched it again.
But it is so
I watched
good.
it again for the show, and I was like, okay, wow, this is a really good movie. And then I watched Guardians 2 because I'd never seen it. When we watched it for the show, it was the first time I'd seen it. So I saw that scene, I was like, okay, this is gonna be good. And then it just wasn't good.
I've just found my review on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 from the 29th of April 2017. I tweeted #GotGog2 review, so that's the hashtag I was using. I found it
Really good
absolutely
hashtag.
hilarious. The action was pretty good, despite being a little predictable. Baby Groot was amazing. My favorite character was Drax, as always, but it was nowhere near as good as the original, and I wouldn't go see it again.
Hold on. Your favorite character in Guardians 2 is Drax?
My favorite character in Guardians just is Drax. Drax is the best character in out of the Guardians.
Yeah, but Drax from Volume 1 and Drax from Volume 2 are different characters.
Are they? I just find him hilarious.
I mean, they're not.
Kills me.
He's definitely not hilarious, but that's very subjective. I just think that he laughs at his own jokes, and he's a completely different person. He lacks conviction.
Yeah, in Volume 2, like, he lost everything that made him Drax.
I didn't even come to terms with
to me.
this.
Anyway,
I was just like, Drax is great. I love Drax.
I loved Drax in Volume 1. I think that with the exception of supporting James Gunn, that Dave Bautista has been a good influence on the world. I have a Drax right here. It's a cup sitting on my desk.
James Gunn. He wants to be in Suicide Squad.
Yeah, he wants to sign up for Suicide Squad.
Like, can he do that?
I don't know. He's
it's kind of controversial.
I sincerely doubt it.
He's a decent Drax, but he's not the best actor in the world.
Well, I also sincerely doubt that Marvel is going to let him go sign up with DC to play another big burly strongman character. I can't believe he was
allowed to tweet that. Like, how Marvel aren't just shooting that down, like tweeting he wants to work with
Marvel has taken the approach with both the James Gunn thing. Marvel is pretending it's just not happening with the not the James Gunn, but like with the actors, supporting James Gunn.
Do you follow Marvel, not studios, but just like Marvel the brand on
Marvel.
Instagram?
Oh, let me check.
At Marvel.
I do not.
It's very interesting to follow because Marvel Studios and Marvel are like Marvel looks like if you watch their stories and stuff, they make good content. It's not okay.
Venom fan got a surprise today. I don't watch many stories. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's just Venom.
I usually watch all of them. But what I've noticed about the Marvel Instagram page is that like their sort of branding approach, I feel like is still sort of on like, holy crap, a lot of people are looking at us now and they weren't a few minutes ago. But it's been 10 years now and they like, I just feel like their branding needs a facelift. They need to hire somebody who's better at it than they are. So does DC, but they're figuring it out.
About DC, and it was actually a text conversation I had a couple hours ago where I said I hope they start from scratch with Suicide Squad, just like Guardians, and just make it funny based around music, and just basically try and remake Guardians of the Galaxy 1, but with Suicide Squad. And he said it won't be. DC is always dark. And I just came to the conclusion like they had one successful dark film in the past and have just latched onto that.
Well, like three successful dark films.
Right, they made the Dark Knight movies, and then DC did the DQ or whatever it is, the DC Extended Universe. And
But you can see like Aquaman and Shazam are trying to not be dark.
And Shazam is one of the first ones as well of Suicide Squad that actually looks quite good. I thought looked quite funny.
Which
Shazam.
one? Oh, I thought of the two I just mentioned, Aquaman looks a lot better than Shazam.
I don't know.
That Aquaman trailer
to see,
is
Khal Drogo.
I would like a formal apology from DC for everything that's come out regarding Aquaman so far.
I like...
Really?
Like, I'm just upset. But anyway, Dave Bautista can say whatever he wants about wanting to be in DC because Marvel's sitting over there like, what's a DC? Like, DC's trying to do everything they can to beat Marvel, and Marvel's like, who are you?
Yeah, they literally... They
made like
them.
the joke.
I don't know how they killed them so well, but they killed them.
There is even in the Harley Quinn trailer for her new TV show where Kaylee Cuoco voices her, which is stupid. It's not like Tara Strong's not available. Whatever. They call out Deadpool about how like because Deadpool called them out.
Yeah.
But now you're attacking the wrong part of Marvel DC. Like you need to go after Tony Stark and Spider-Man.
I don't get the whole thing with Deadpool because they're like an X-Men as well. Because isn't it now all owned by Disney?
So what happened was when the merger happened, Fox gets to finish making any film that was going into production.
And they had like 9 movies slated up.
Okay.
Yeah, and at any stage of production. So what like X-Men Dark Phoenix.
Have you spoken about that trailer yet? Because your gif in response to it was like, well, you tried is the most accurate film. I don't think I've ever laughed out loud so much to one of your tweets, Tyler. You're like, well, you tried. And I was like, that's exactly it. They tried. And like, I don't know. It was so like, I don't know.
But like, so what happened with that is they filmed a movie and they put out a trailer, but they've already pushed it back, right? Like they originally were like February 20th or whatever, and now it's like May something. But what they're gonna do to attempt to keep their brand for as long as they can and continue to make money without giving it all to Disney and selling their souls is they're just gonna keep pushing stuff like that back for as long as they possibly can. I do feel bad for pretty much only Jennifer Lawrence that movie was even filmed.
What, Dark Phoenix?
Yeah, but oh well. I mean, it doesn't have Logan. What's the point?
I'm not that big a fan of Logan, the film. No,
Really?
I didn't
I
think.
thought it was
I didn't
amazing.
think- again, I feel like I watched it late, and there was so much hype around it, and like people always say this is the best superhero film ever, and I was like,
Oh, it's not.
I still have not seen it.
But we do need to wrap up. We need to rank Toy Story 2.
We can continue this
Is there
conversation
anything
next week.
to say about Toy Story 2 that I haven't said? It's just very good.
It's so good. There's
I
honestly
wanna watch
like
it. You've made this podcast has made me want to watch it. But I
The
also,
fact that you
Shit,
can
you're supposed to watch it before.
the fact that you can do these episodes without watching the movie is shocking to me.
I just know the films very well. Like, I know them off the bat. Like I could answer those questions, no problem.
Right.
Like, no, my knowledge
Anyway,
on the
so-
films is absolutely great. You do not need to worry about me watching the film.
So, Stinky Pete as a villain, is he better than Megatron?
Yes, and I think he's better
Yeah.
than Sid too.
I would agree with that as well.
I would say that this movie as a whole is better than everything we've talked
Yeah,
about so far.
I would say I would say these just
Than Toy Story 1 or Transformers.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would agree with that, yes.
and Venom as well technically because we're gonna.
Well, I haven't seen Venom.
But
I don't think I'm going to
it
think
is
Venom
gonna
is
be.
better than this.
It's going to be on the
but
list, right? Because this is coming after Venom, right?
Yeah.
This is just a
Yeah.
confusing concept, isn't it?
Well,
It
we're
is.
just going
because
to...
Ethan's got to go on tour.
Right.
Yeah.
Once I get back from tour, we're just going to rank everything
Lovely.
and make sure it lines up.
So I don't get to.
And that's
participate
when we'll
in
put out the
rankings.
year 2 list.
Well, either way, what would Toy Story 2 be if it was a breakfast food, boys?
Well, so yesterday we said toast with whatever
Sliced
you want
bread.
on it.
We said sliced bread because you say this is the best thing since sliced bread, and in the terms
this-
of computer animation,
But
Toy
this
Story
is literally
sliced
the best
bread.
thing. So this is literally the
And
best
this
thing
is the
since
best thing
sliced
since
bread.
sliced bread because it's better. I don't think A Bug's Life is better than Toy Story, and this therefore is the
No.
best thing since sliced bread. So
I do think A Bug's Life is better than Incredibles 2.
So when sliced bread was the first thing, what was like the next best breakfast that came along after that?
I don't know, but what keeps coming to mind here is a Western omelet. But obviously that's not epic enough. But that is
What's a
what
Western
keeps
omelet?
coming
You're
to
gonna have
mind.
to describe because
It's the rootinest, tootinest omelet in the Wild Wild West, Seamus.
Yeah.
so like what,
Do you know what an omelet
It's an
is?
omelet with
Are you familiar with an
peppers
omelet?
yeah, I know an
and
omelet
chili,
is.
not chili, but
I
like,
don't know what a Western omelet is. That could just got like load of stuff
I'm
in
just
it.
gonna see if there's an official this is a
yeah,
Western
I would say
omelet.
like it's an omelet with peppers and like chorizo.
Okay, sounds good.
and
I'm hungry.
It's very good. I know. I wish I could
I
eat
was gonna
out,
watch
but I
Infinity
can't.
War tonight, but it's nearly midnight and it's like a 3-hour long film, so I'm not sure I'm.
It's 3
I'm not
hours
sure I'm
long.
willing
God,
to
it just
stay-
goes like it just
It
goes
does,
like
but I'm not sure I'm willing to stay up till 3 a.m. and I need to buy it and download it onto my computer. So like that's another like 30 minutes.
So the official
Yeah.
Western omelet is eggs, onion, red bell pepper, green bell pepper, a ham, Swiss cheese.
no chorizo.
No.
Oh well.
Is there
I
any
still
chicken
I
on
approve
it?
of
Fried
that omelet.
chicken? Because like
No.
you've got the chicken
No,
man.
no, that's a southern thing.
We don't put fried chicken in omelets.
Yeah, you wouldn't do that here either. I'm trying to think like
You
you've
eat
got
chicken
the
with
because like
waffles.
Al's the chicken man, isn't he?
He is, but he's not the movie.
He isn't. No, what's the reference made in the
Newman.
movie? It's like we could be a meal. We've got a hamburger.
Cheese puffs.
No, with fries, and Rex is like, "What could I be?" And you're like, "The toilet comes with the meal."
Oh, it's a happy
Happy
meal.
Meal.
Hot dog, a hamburger, and fries.
Be a Happy Meal. Happy Meal for breakfast. Is that a thing that you do in America? McDonald's Happy Meal
No.
for breakfast? No, not even America.
Probably.
No, those are lunch and dinner.
Even when I was a kid, I just
know.
got a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit.
No, we don't do that here either. I like you have like a lot more on the McDonald's menu. I thought like maybe America's advanced enough to have a Happy Meal breakfast
I don't think so.
Yeah.
We might.
soon.
Let me check.
You have a-
McDonald's.
you can still
if
get a
you're listening
McDouble.
to the Bacon and Eggs podcast, which I know you are, a Happy Meal.
I mean, somebody
breakfast.
must be. They've got a bunch of employees. Seamus, with what frequency do you eat McDonald's?
I don't know if I should say that live, but I never eat it at home. But when I go to Northern Ireland and see Abigail, we get it all the time. So, but I think that's purely.
Why would you not say
I
that
think
live?
that's purely because they don't have as much on offer in terms of food there. So, like if you're eating out,
I mean, what do they
McDonald's is,
have
like,
in England?
Nearly
Just
the best
like
you can get.
shepherd's pie and
When
Fish
I
and
eat at
chips?
home, I just literally make myself a sandwich or bagels or
Ooh,
like
bagels.
that. I would have that every day for lunch, and then
So you can get breakfast Happy Meals.
you can.
what are the options?
So you have an egg and cheese McMuffin Happy Meal, which comes with an egg and cheese McMuffin, an apple slices, Go-Gurt, and an apple juice.
That is what this is. It's a breakfast Happy Meal in a reference to the Happy Meal that is referenced.
You can also get a McGriddle Happy Meal.
What
Oh my
you
God, that
you
sounds
said
so
this?
good.
Was this the one with Isaac that was a McGriddle? for
No, that was
breakfast?
with Sophie.
Was it? No, Sophie wouldn't have heard of it because this isn't a thing. And I was like, when I heard it,
No,
I was
we-
like, I want to
we
try
spent
this.
about-
Next time I come to
we spent
America,
about
I'm
10
having
minutes-
a McGriddle.
We spent about 10 minutes explaining what a McGriddle was to Sophie. We may have done it with Isaac and then explained it to her
Yeah,
in the
because
next
you
episode.
explained it. That's how I knew what it was, and that's why I was
Because
like, I need to try
she kept
this.
saying McGriddle.
A McGriddle.
She's like, it's a McGriddle. I was like, I can't.
Well, I'm having a McGriddle next time I come to America. Will you guys treat me to that?
Sure.
Lovely.
Yeah. I wonder if I still have that really high def picture of the McGriddle. McGriddle that I sent to Sophie.
That was a great picture.
The like uncomfortably high resolution picture. I don't know if I do. Hang on.
Like, how could something be uncomfortably high definition?
Oh, hang on. Let me see if I can find this picture real quick. If y'all
I'm
have.
looking up McGriddles now. I am hungry
seconds.
for one, but they don't exist here. All the pictures are kind of high def though.
There was one that I found that, like, when I pulled it up on my actual computer, it was gigantic. Like, it took up the entire screen, and you could, like, see the meat sweating.
I know a thing or two about meat sweats.
Oh, this is it. It was the Wikipedia picture. Hold on, I'm sending it to Skype right now.
Oh god, I'm so excited. This is where we should record.
You
the
gotta
live
open it.
reaction.
You gotta click on it and open it.
Yeah, okay. That's about as high def as the other photo I was looking up, but
It's
it is
just
good.
enormous.
I love it.
You can see the, like, moistness of the bacon.
You can. I like it. I want one now.
And the completely unmelted nature of a sliced, like a craft single.
Hi, look.
What about
I
me?
saw your name and I was like, oh. It just popped up on my.
Am I on
It
Wikipedia
just popped
now?
up on my screen.
So I keep going on IMDb and looking up Toy Story 2, and it just takes me to the Toy Story 4 page every time.
Sorry.
Well, that sucks.
So hold on. I know. It's very annoying.
Yeah, I just got to Toy Story 2 with no problem.
Well, now I'm there. Okay. So just
So what do you
be cool,
what do you
man.
need?
Me?
Yeah.
I need a phrase that starts with the letter A.
Oh.
Someone,
And then we'll do the sign
someone
off.
tweeted said to me saying today, so your middle name is Luke. Now we know why John, Carlin, and Beth really named their son.
That was why I sent that to you not that long ago.
What? Someone thought that they named their kid after my middle name.
They absolutely did,
It'd
Seamus.
be a lovely tribute, but I don't know why they would name their kid after me. Someone at the time of having their kid, Beth had met once,
Right.
And who has now met twice.
now met twice. Oh wow, I've really. But like, she's met me more than twice in the sense that like we saw each other like every day. I'd say when in DC, but we literally met once when in for Virginia. I still can't believe I didn't
So
meet
we need-
Tyler in Virginia. Like you too, Ethan.
know,
But like I
you
thought
were-
like your brother.
I didn't live there.
Oh, you didn't. Oh.
No,
No,
I
he
just
does
moved
now,
back to
but didn't
Roanoke.
then.
Because I'm surprised that your brothers didn't know I didn't meet you. Like I remember when
When were we gonna have met?
I remember when they came to London in January. They were kind of like, "Oh, did you never meet Tyler?" And I was like, "No." And they were like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, it's so weird to them that like they never even like came across the idea that we didn't meet. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Next time you're in the States, we'll make sure to hang out again.
Yeah, it'd be awkward if I came to the States and we didn't hang out again. I'd think.
I mean, if you go visit Isaac, I probably
Oh
won't
yeah,
see
that's
you.
quite quite
very far
far
away.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You can make a weekend out of it.
Be a fun
Yeah,
time.
but
I would recommend waiting
I'm-
until like next year to go visit Isaac because it's about to start getting real cold where he lives.
Wisconsin, right?
Yeah.
He lives near DK, or where DK used to live.
yes.
He's about to be covered with snow for the next 6 months.
I find that insane. We have like one weather pattern in our country. Rain.
Rain.
Yeah, it does not snow in London.
It does occasionally. Like once every 3 years, you might get good snow.
Look, when we were in London, it rained and it was below freezing.
But
and it wasn't freezing rain.
The problem what is with rain, with snow here, is like a centimeter of snow, and the country just goes into meltdown. Like,
Oh, that's the South here.
We
Yeah.
can't deal with it. Like I had 1 day off of snow at my school in my life, and it was like 5 centimeters of snow, and it was actually on my
there was
birthday,
one time-
but that's just completely irrelevant to the fact.
There was one time where we were off of school for 2 straight weeks for one snowstorm. Well, for 2 snowstorms that hit
No, I got
simultaneously.
1 day off in my life at school, and it was for like 5 centimeters of snow. And we drove to the school, and there were guys waving at, like the headmaster was waving at the door, saying like, "No."
We
Like,
had
you could
a
get to the
snowstorm.
school.
So yeah, that's the thing is like we don't prepare for snow because we don't get that many snowstorms here in the South, but like we do get big snow sometimes. Like we had a snowstorm that hit my apartment out in Newport News 2 winters ago that we got like 14 inches,
Wow.
like over a foot, and it was like it may as well have been the apocalypse. But anyway, let's go ahead and sign off. We can continue this conversation soon.
Yeah.
We have one more episode to do.
I know. Yeah. So.
Any
what
last
do you-
thoughts?
I-
Anybody got a burning?
No, I think I actually really like. We didn't talk about the movie that much, but I really like what we said about it.
We talked
and
about
I
the
loved
movie more than most
conversations.
episodes.
We talked. I feel
say
like
that
I
every
feel like
time.
we talked about like we gave a good.
I do not
20
say that
minutes
every time.
Talking about it, I answered a few questions about it as well.
We didn't talk about Transformers at all. We talked about this a lot more than Transformers.
That's good.
But I really enjoyed the episode. I think it's always a pleasure talking with you, Seamus. We appreciate you being here,
Yeah.
and joining
Thank you
us.
for
and-
inviting me on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously.
Am
Well,
I the most, on the moment of this episode coming out, am I now the most frequent visitor?
You were as of last week, too.
Oh, was is no one done 3?
No,
Oh,
you're the
okay.
first person to do 3.
So I'm on to 4 now. Take that, John Negroni.
We said the exact same thing. We were like, as soon as Seamus comes on for a 5th time, John Negroni's going to be like, where is my trilogy?
Yeah.
Well, what would John Negroni's trilogy be?
I have no idea.
How many trilogies
Zorro.
are there left for you to do? Like,
Loads.
but like good trilogies.
I mean, we could do Lord of the Rings, we could do
Oh,
Matrix.
Yeah, there are a few. Terminators, there's like 5 of them.
Yeah, I mean, we could do. There's bunches of series. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and do the signing off now. Thank you for listening to Bacon and Eggs. I'm available at Wow Now, but the O's are zeros. Tyler's available at Mara Carlin on both Twitter and Instagram. Seamus is available at Seamus Gorman 4 on Instagram and Gorman Seamus on Twitter and YouTube.com/Seamus Gorman.
That would not
you know-
be how you would find me on YouTube. I don't have the personalized thing. No, someone took it. My thing is, wait, I can find it out for you, but just search my name, Seamus Gorman, into the thing. But the actual @ would be like,
Oh wow, yeah, Seamus Gorman has 1 subscriber.
Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that.
in
What
the-
is your handle then?
UCJS 38 LPAWF07PM5RY 834MW.
Wait, so you don't have any
Nope.
kind of personal link?
I really don't think it makes any difference personally, because how
wild.
often does someone search up literally type in a URL rather than just searching it into the platform?
Oh, that's
search bar?
absolutely how I get to like Super Carlin Brothers or whatever.
What, using the search?
I search youtube.com/Good Mythical Morning.
But I don't know. I don't think that.
Anyway, Seamus Gorman is available on YouTube at youtube.com/channel/UCJS38 LPAWFF07PM5RY 834 capital M lowercase w.
I will give anyone like a reward if they typed that whole thing in rather than just searching my name in.
You heard it here. Seamus will give you a reward if you type that in. Please DM pictures of you, screen caps of you typing that to Seamus.
Okay, go for it. I'll get them in a month's time and I'll be like, what's this?
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to get a bunch
What
of
on earth are
these
people doing?
on November 8th and be like, what in God's name? Anyway, that's how we're available. If you want to get anything about the show, we're at Bacon and Eggs 23 on Twitter, at Bacon and Eggs Podcast on Instagram. You can go to teespring.com/store/Bacon and Eggs to get merch. You can go to patreon.com/Bacon and Eggs to support the show and join our awesome Discord server where all 3 of us are members, even though Seamus doesn't talk very much because he doesn't love us and he's in a different
When
time
I
zone.
get a Discord account myself, I'll be on it all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to that day.
Yeah.
Whenever Seamus does come in, it's a great time and he talks for like 3 hours.
Yeah, and I
just
don't
monopolizes
upload
everything.
for like a week.
Fair enough. Well, I think that's everything. Thank you for listening to another episode of Bacon and Eggs. It's been a pleasure recording this one with you guys. I've been Ethan Etchill. He's been Tyler Carlin. And him over there has been Seamus Gorman. And until next week, arrivederci.
Al's Toy Barn!